A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's go.
Let's go. Firefighters. Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll join Chief Cody in his office at Fire Department headquarters, where the chief is telling Jimmy and Trudy, Tim Collins' brother and sister, about the great fire that almost wiped out the city in the old days. But before we drop in at headquarters, here's a message for you. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to Chief Cody's office at Fire Department headquarters, where the chief is reliving for Trudy and Jimmy Collins an experience of long ago, the great fire that almost destroyed the city. As you remember, Chief Cody has just explained.
The big fire was a long time ago, kids. Why, my own dad was only a lieutenant then in old 3-1 Hook and Ladder Company. And his driver, well, his driver was a young fellow named Tim Collins. Yes, your father's own father. And back in those days when the fire bells rang and all the church bells joined in to give the alarm, Tim Collins used to roll.
Hang on, Lieutenant. We're coming into Main Street. You hang on to those reins, Tim. I'll hang on to myself. All right, keep that bell going. Clear the track. Give us room. Make way for 3-1. Yeah!
In the old days, Chief Cody goes on with the story, in the old days when the city fire equipment was drawn by horses, the chief's father and Tim's grandfather were close friends. And one day, as they sat talking in the wide doorway of the firebox...
Oh, it's a heavy day, Tim. I don't like this wind blowing steady all day and all night, and yet the air's heavy.
There goes a neat filly, Lieutenant.
Yeah, not bad.
Picks up her feet.
Hey, she's a dancer, Tim.
Had her tail docked, though. It's a proud little filly like that. They don't need a dock or tail. Stop that.
Mr. Staples is jealous. Must have heard you talking about that little roan, huh?
What's the matter with you, Mr. Staples? All right. I heard you. Stop it. That's a good boy. You keep quiet now. No, he's not jealous, Lieutenant Cody. He's mad at Mr. Thomas.
Huh?
Yeah, last night when we rolled to that fire in Sumter's woodshed, Mr. Thomas took a nip at Mr. Staples.
Huh?
They haven't fixed it up yet, but they'll get over it.
Yeah, the horses are sort of fretful like the rest of it.
Well, we'll be all right when the wind shifts.
We'll be all wrong if it doesn't soon, Tim. Marshal Baker said so last night.
Oh, you've been talking with the fire marshal?
Yeah, down to Union House. Dropped in for a bite on my way home. Marshal was tending the desk as usual.
As usual, unless there's an alarm. Come an alarm, the marshal forgets mighty quick he's got a hotel to manage.
Well, he's a fast man when he feels like it, the marshal is. The first bell he hears, he's on his way to the fire the quickest way he knows how. By horse car or the nearest rig he can commandeer, or just on a dead run.
And young Johnny flying after him with the marshal's white helmet. Well, what did he say was in the wind? The marshal, last night over to Union House.
Trouble, he says. All this new construction.
Oh, town looks mighty smart, all this new building. Why, from out at the new housing plot clean through the center to where we're sitting right here. More new construction than not.
Yeah, it looks right smart. But the marshal claims it isn't smart. Claims these mansard roofs they're using aren't smart at all.
Notice he put one on the Union House fast enough when he saw all the new houses and the business buildings down center and the new mills out our way here. When he saw this newfangled roof was the thing, he didn't hang back much.
No, but now he's worried. You ever seen one of those mansard roofs close up, Tim?
Now, when would I ever see anything unless it was at a fire? Us boys that's only privates, we're cooped up here in the firehouse 24 hours a day, every day in the month except one. And my day off every month, that's when I go home and see the folks. No, I haven't seen any mansard roof.
Well, Marshal Baker, he says a mansard roof gives you lots more space, but there's too much flimsy woodwork just begging for a chance to burn. Now, these mansard roofs, he says, someday they're going to burn the whole town right down to the ground, he says.
You, Mr. Staples, let that dog alone.
Here, Trixie, come here. Here, Trixie, come on. Trixie, good girl. Hey, no need to wash my face.
You keep out of Mr. Staples' stall, Trixie girl. He's mad at everybody today.
Where are you going, Trixie?
Yeah, there she goes, going to curl up and take a nap on the seat of the hook and ladder.
She's kind of fretful, too.
Yeah, you know, the boys say that's a sign we're going to roll when Trixie climbs up on the seat.
I wish the wind would change, Tim. Horses and dogs all on edge. I've kind of got the willies myself. Well, praise be, the boys in the firehouse here haven't got to jarring on each other yet.
Oh, no? Huh? You heard what I said about time off? Us boys getting only 1 day off a month? Well, and then we can't even drive out into the country, not beyond the town limits?
Well, now, Tim, you know there might be an emergency.
Well, officers get a night off a week. Look at you, down to the Union House, chinning with Marshal Baker last night.
Oh, now, Tim, you're not going to join in with these malcontents and radicals, are you? And besides, it's for your own good.
What's good about it?
Well, now, look. Suppose you had a whole day off, say, well, maybe as often as once a week.
Well, I know it sounds foolish, Lieutenant Cody, but some of the boys think we ought to get even as much as that.
You know what would happen, Tim?
Well, I'd get to know a little more about what's happening around town. I know that much.
Yes, and you'd meet some young lady, Tim, and get to sparking. First thing, you'd be pestering around asking permission to get married.
Well, why not? You're married.
Well, I'm an officer, Tim. I can afford it. Now, how are you going to support a family on private's pay?
Well, I know.
You wait your time till you get a commission, Tim.
Oh, but, Lieutenant, some of the boys think it isn't fair. Why, do you know that young Johnny Baker gets... he's 14 years old and just gone to work for his father at the Union House. You know what he gets?
$2 a day, what I heard.
$2 a day, $12 a week. And Johnny only works 6 days out of every 7, and at that, hardly ever more than 10 hours a day.
Well, I don't like to criticize the marshal, Tim, but it does seem like favoring his own.
Oh, Johnny isn't the only one, Lieutenant. Why, there's kids in this town not old enough to raise a mustache that make more in a week than I make in a... Oh, you Trixie! Now what's the matter?
Something's up, Tim.
Huh?
He's got a feeling.
Oh, good grief. You're right, Lieutenant. Something is in the wind.
Yeah. Here she comes.
Yeah?
Turn out, you laggards!
All right. Come on, Staples. Come on, Thomas. Into your places. Eat it.
District 12. Down by the river, boys.
Get over there.
And the wind is off the river.
That's right.
Going steady right into town.
Up there. Steady, Thomas. Come on.
Trixie, get out front, girl. Clear the street.
Come on, Staples.
Come on, Tim. Buckle that harness.
All right. All ready, sir.
All aboard. Let's roll.
Yo! Clear the track. Here comes old 3-1.
As old 3-1s, with Tim Collins handling the reins and Lieutenant Cody clanging the bell, races toward District 12 on the waterfront, the town fire marshal, proprietor of the Union House, runs from behind the desk in the lobby.
Johnny Baker, fetch my helmet. Follow me.
From the front porch of his hotel, he sees old 3-1s rolling past with the truck wheels in the groove of the horse car tracks for greater speed, and the marshal calls,
Cody! Lieutenant Cody! Where's the fire? Johnny Baker, run over to the church on the square. Tell them fire on the waterfront and the wind's behind it blowing this way. General alarm. Then fetch my white helmet. I'll be down in District 12.
And at this very moment, as Trudy and Jimmy Collins sit wide-eyed on the edge of their chairs in the office of Chief Cody, their old friend interrupts his story of long ago to remind them.
Now, you kids, Jimmy, Trudy, remember that in those days the fire department couldn't always knock a fire down before it had time to spread. Back when my dad was Lieutenant Cody and your own grandfather was his driver, young Tim Collins he was on Hook and Ladder 3-1s, well, almost any fire might turn out to be a city-wide conflagration. So the marshal always turned out. And this time, as he reached the waterfront, he saw...
Watch yourself, Marshal. We've got to move back. Oh, that whole block of buildings is ablaze. Where did it start, Collins? In Rafferty's coal pit, Marshal. 100 tons of hay went up like paper. Now it's into the dump. Well, we'll try to save the harness factory. Hey, you engine men. Turn that water on the harness factory. Let the lumber yard go.
Marshal Baker!
Here, Lieutenant Cody.
We've got to pull back, Marshal! We've got to pull back, or we lose half our equipment.
We can't pull back. What are you talking about?
Look there, Marshal! 2 blocks away!
It's just ahead of us. That murderous wind.
The wind is throwing great chunks of flame into those rooftops, Marshal! The fire's racing ahead of us, a street at a time!
At this point, with the fire marshal in charge, issuing orders to his men to get ahead of the raging fire that threatens to consume the city, we leave Chief Cody and his story of the big fire of long ago. But we won't miss a word, because you'll share this thrilling adventure when you hear our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. And now, in just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell all of you boys and girls how you can help the firefighters in your own hometown. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody, with a word about those hand fire extinguishers we mentioned. The soda acid type is very common, the kind that contains water in which bicarbonate of soda is dissolved. Now, you turn it over, and acid mixes with the soda to form gas, which forces out a stream of water that lasts about a minute. Now, soda acid extinguishers are good for stopping small fires in ordinary materials like wood or paper. And remember, a hand extinguisher is good protection for your home. That's all for now. You'll be hearing from me soon.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it! Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is name. N-A-M-E.
Raleigh.
You bet your life! The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only... Groucho!
What a ridiculous name. Oh, that's me! Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples.
Groucho, we invited some girls from a department store to the program tonight.
And about time.
And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Margaret Myers. Her partner, Clem Swartz, has an interesting occupation. And here they come now. Folks, come on in to meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome, youngsters. Welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Let's see now. Miss Margaret Myers, huh? You work in a department store, is that right?
Yes, I do.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Seward, Nebraska.
What department store are you
Broadway
laboring
Hollywood.
under? What's that?
Broadway Hollywood.
You work at the Broadway Hollywood?
Yes, I do.
Well, really, that store carries prettier merchandise than I realized. We'll have a go at it someday. And you're Mr. Clem Schwartz, huh?
Yes, sir.
Is that how you pronounce it, Schwartz?
Yes, sir.
You'd say yes at anything, I can see that. Where are you from, Clemmy?
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Come again?
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
I don't care what you broke. I asked you where you're from. Now, Clem Fanneman says that you have an interesting occupation. Just what do you do?
Well, sir, I'm a rodeo rider.
You're a radio writer?
Rodeo?
What show are you on, the March of Time?
Well, sir.
What kind of a radio writer?
A rodeo rider, you know.
Oh, a rodeo rider.
That's
Well, that's a horse of a different color, huh? How did you happen to get into that kind of a job?
Well, sir, I was raised back home on the ranch, and all the boys that I knew, you know, they rodeoed for a living, and golly, You know, it's a lot better deal of doing that than it is of working for a living.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, Clem. Makes horse sense, as a matter of fact. Now, let's go shopping in your store. What kind of, Margaret, what do you do there?
I work in the notions department.
Well, what is a notion? I've seen that word many times, but just what does it mean?
Well, it's a notion, whatever you get a notion to have. It's hard to describe.
Well, some of the notions I have, you said you couldn't buy in a department store. Do you have any headaches in a job like that?
Oh, yes, lots of them.
Like what?
Oh, for one thing, we can't get enough girls in our department.
Yeah, well, I've had that complaint, too. You too, Clem?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I should imagine you do right well, Clem.
But that's just about all I do, I reckon. Is amazing.
You haven't got a girl out here, Clem?
Oh, gosh, no, I couldn't find one. And all these people out here, they're city folks, you know?
You mean city folks don't have girls? Is that what you're implying?
Well, the city boys has already got them, if you know what I mean.
How about down there in Kadiddlehopper where you were born? Is that the name of it? How about that? Did you have a girl down there?
Yeah, I had one down there.
And is that why you came up here?
No, not hardly.
Well, is she pining for you down there in the middle of the road, the highway?
Well, she might be, but I don't hardly think so. Now, I'm fixing to get a new one if I get the right kind of an opportunity, you know.
Well, what would you regard as a likely opportunity?
Well, shucks, I reckon just one that wasn't married.
Clem, your standards are too high. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,000 question. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to some mighty interesting information.
Have you seen, have you driven the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8? It's America's most spectacular new car, featuring the revolutionary new DeSoto 160-horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine that's the talk of the engineering world. What a thrill when you get behind the wheel of the new DeSoto, when you feel the tremendous surging power, the instant acceleration at your command at all speeds. Because DeSoto's new 160-horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine is America's most powerful engine design. Its unique dome-shaped combustion chambers produce more power from every drop of gas and on regular gasoline. Not only that, the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8 also brings you amazing new power steering, so that even in parking, when your car's at a standstill, you can turn the steering wheel with one finger. Yes, as easy as dialing a phone. Tomorrow, go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers and see and drive the new 160-horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8, America's most spectacular new car.
By the way, congratulations. Congratulations, Fenneman. You know, George was voted the best announcer in television by 1,500 newspaper editors in the recent Fame poll. And that is the real poll. And I was delighted to find out that you won this, George. And I hope that you don't try to strike us for more money. That's Now, here we go. Let's see how high you can build you $20. You selected songs about animals as your category. How much of the $20 you going to bet?
Well, I think about $16.
I reckon that'll be a plenty, won't it?
$16. Well, okay. Give me the title of this animal song. Play, Jerry.
Monkey and the Weasel. Pop goes the weasel.
Pop goes the weasel is right.
Well, you're off to a good start. You have $36.
Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 36 will you bet this time?
35, I reckon.
35, he reckons.
Hardly said.
He does more reckoning without ever adding. All right, play, Jerry.
Woo! Donkey Serenade.
All right, what is it? No, the Whistler and his dog.
You now have $1.
You have $1. How much you reckon you're going to bet this time, Clem?
Well, that was hard. We're getting kind of low, aren't we? Let's just bet 50 cents.
50 cents of that?
50 cents. Let's see if you can identify this animal song. Play, Jerry. Right.
You now have $1.50.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much are you going to reckon?
Oh, might as well bet it all.
Shucks, let's save just a little bit. Let's
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to bet $1.48.
You're going to bet $1.48, huh? He's reckoning us, and we're wrecking him. All right, here we go for $1.48. Play.
Old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be.
Old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be.
And you'll wind up with $2.98.
Nobody leaves here with $2.98. I'm going to give you one more question, get it right, and we bring your winnings up to $25. You ready? How long do you cook a 3-minute egg? 3 minutes is right.
We have a housewife for you now, Groucho. Mrs. Marshall Lester. She was picked from our studio audience just before we went on the air. Her partner is a special guest, a member of the Los Angeles City Council, Mr. Kenneth Hahn. And here they are, folks. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Mrs. Marshall Lester and Councilman Kenneth Hahn, eh? Oh, come now. Are you really a councilman?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Can't be. You've got your hands in your own pockets. I apologize, Mr. Hahn. I didn't really mean that. It just slipped out. Will you ignore what I just said?
Certainly.
He's a politician, all right. He'll ignore anything we voters have to say. Mrs. Marshall Lester, you're the housewife, huh?
Yes.
I'll call you Marcia, and you can call me Mallow. How'd you meet your husband?
Well, I was coming out of the May Company just loaded with packages.
You were, eh?
And,
I hope you didn't get stuck in a revolving door.
well, almost just as bad. I slipped, and it was raining, and I was trying to hold my little umbrella, and I pulled my husband down, an innocent bystander with me. And that's how we met. He helped me up, and he's been helping me ever since.
Sounds like a real romance. They fell for each other in the month of May. Oh, no, that was a department store. Mr. Kenneth Hahn, you're a councilman, eh? I find it very stimulating talking to a councilman. Can you fix a traffic ticket?
No, Groucho.
Well, I don't see any point in continuing this conversation. I can't keep calling you Mr. Hahn, a young, fine-looking fellow like you, a councilman. What shall I call you?
My friends call me Kenny.
Incredible. A man in public office who still has friends? Why, it's uncanny. How old are you, Ken?
31.
31, huh? And how long have you been in office?
I've been in office 5 years.
I imagine you've had some interesting experiences with your constituents. Do you remember any hot ones that you could relate?
Well, just a week or so ago, a lady called me at my home at 10:30 at night.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. So she called me at 10:30 at night.
Where was your wife?
My wife was in bed.
Where were you?
I was in bed, too, and the phone was ringing. So I jumped up to answer it. I thought it was some kind of emergency call.
Well, what kind of an emergency call did a politician get?
Oh, we get them plenty of calls, Groucho.
Is that so?
People in trouble or in jail, or they got a house is burning, or they want somebody to go to the hospital. half the time they call a councilman instead of calling the right departments. So anyway, this lady calls me and says,
You're not going to let me horn in on this at all. He's going to wind up being governor. Then you're going to chase those grunion, you know that.
It's a lot of fun to do. So anyway, she called me.
You got a daughter named Honey Bear?
No, I have a son. I have another.
Well, call him Honey Bear. Can't be elected unless you have a child named Honey Bear.
Well, I'll call the next one Honey Bear.
Okay. That's a promise now.
So she calls me at 10:30 at night. She said that the garbage...
It's about 11 now, isn't it?
She said...
on with the story.
All right, on with it. She said...
And the torpedoes.
She said the garbage man forgot to pick up her garbage for 2 consecutive times. She said she lives in a 4-family flat, that her garbage pail is full, her neighbors are full, and she's using the dish pan. She's got all the dishes, and her husband's mad at her, and she wanted me to do something about it. So I called for emergency truck to see what they could do to help this lady out. Well, the next morning, they went by about midnight, I imagine, picked up the garbage. The next morning, she woke me. She was at the door about 7:30. Oh, I mean, wait a minute. Cross that out. She woke me about 6:30. I'm always up early. And
I'm letting him hang himself now.
At 6:30.
You notice I don't say anything anymore. You're riding alone, Councilman.
I'm afraid of that. So she said, Mr. Hunt, she says, I'll always vote for you. She said, that was just wonderful for you to come out last night and pick up the garbage yourself. I just want to know, where did you put it? And how'd you get it in your car? She says, if you know where to do it, she says, or she said, if you know how to get rid of the garbage, she says, maybe next time I can do it.
Well, Ken, I've been standing here taking pot shots at you, and I think it's only democratic to give you a chance to do the same. You're at liberty to say anything you want.
Well, since this is election year, I won't say too much except this, Groucho. Sincerely, that you are contributing a great deal to the welfare of our country. You're making millions of people laugh. I think you're doing a great deal for our country.
Well, that's very flattering, and next election I'll run to the polls and vote for you. Is that okay?
But you don't live in my district, do you?
Well, don't let that stop you. Well, I've kidded you, Mr. Hahn, but it was only in jest. And if you really want to find out what the people are thinking about it, you should take a look at the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Would you take a look at it for me?
I will, tomorrow morning.
Not too early. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you get a chance at the $2,000 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Clem and his partner won $2.98, and the secret word is name.
All right, now here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected initials of government organizations. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you go for?
18.
18. That all right with you, Miss Mallow?
Fine.
She said yes.
Oh. What do the initials RFC stand for?
Reconstruction Finance Corporation.
Absolutely right.
And you're off to a good start with $38.
I'm going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the 38 are you going to risk? Talk up. Talk up, Marshall. Let's hear you.
37.
37. The initials AEC stand for an important government group. What do these initials stand for?
Atomic Energy Commission.
You're absolutely right.
You now have $75.
I was bright enough to get out of politics. Here's your third question. How much of the 78 are you going to bet?
75.
75.
74.
74. What do the initials TVA stand for?
Tennessee Valley Authority.
Absolutely correct.
You now have $149.
You're crazy. Don't run for mayor. You're crazy if you do. Now, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 149?
All of it?
All of it.
All of it. The initials VA stand for an important government group. What do these initials stand for?
Veterans Administration.
All right.
You wound up with $298.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
We
have a school teacher and a telephone operator for you now, Groucho. Mr. Robert Crawford is the teacher, and Miss Virginia Ryan is the operator, chosen by our studio audience just before we went in the air. And here they are.
Splendid.
Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Miss Virginia Ryan. And you're a telephone operator, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, Virginia?
Iowa.
Are you married?
No.
Oh. That's terrible. A telephone girl without a ring. Well, I'll have to put in a plug for you sometime, huh? How is it, how come you're not married? Let's get colloquial here. Huh?
Well, I'm not in any hurry.
She's a telephone operator, all right. But if I asked her for a date, she'd give me the busy signal. Mr. Robert Crawford, that's you, huh?
Right.
You look like Francis Ouimet, the fellow who used to be golf champion. Anybody ever tell you that?
No.
Are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
How did you meet your wife?
I don't think that's worth discussing.
Well, I think every married man feels that way about it. Nevertheless, we're very persistent here. How did you meet her?
Well, to be truthful, I was coaching a basketball team in a 7-state tournament.
You were coaching basketball?
Coaching basketball.
Were you dribbling or drooling?
A little of both, I imagine.
What do you teach?
I teach some math courses. I'm head of the mathematics department.
Oh, say, you're quite a fellow here, eh? Basketball and mathematics, huh? What should I call a math teacher? You have a pretty dignified position, and I can't call you Robbie. What shall I call you?
Well, for about 12 years, my students have been calling me Uncle Fudd.
That's quite dignified, eh? Where do you teach, Fudd?
Santa Monica High School.
You don't teach, Fudd. I mean, where do you teach? Fudd. It's not getting any clearer.
I teach at
Fudd, where do you teach? I'll turn this thing around.
I teach at Santa Monica High School.
Oh, well, what are some of the subjects you teach these innocent children?
Well, you see, some of the students are planning to go to college, and that's the group that I teach, the upper group. I teach them college algebra, solid geometry, trigonometry.
Well, tell us about college algebra. What is that like?
I think it'd be more logical if I told you about high school algebra first.
That's not quite true. It'd be more logical if you first told me about kindergarten algebra. Do you have any tricks for cramming mathematics down these unsuspecting little gullets?
Well, I think I do. Most of the teachers use X's and Y's and Z's, but I have 3 little characters that I use, which I call which is a circle, and ha, which
is a circle?
Is a circle.
Well, I never knew that, huh?
You think in them. And then we have ha.
I don't think in circles now. You've got me wrong.
Ha is a square.
Yes, that's me, all right.
And a character I call z, which is a diamond. And I use these to solve equations.
Could you give us a sample equation just so this would clarify itself in my mind?
Well, for example, the solution of a quadratic with these characters as coefficients would be x is equal to a minus half plus or minus the square root of half squared minus 4 all over 2 The original quadratic was x squared plus ha x plus z equals 0.
Well, tell us something about basketball. Well, I've learned a lot tonight, and I'll probably get a bill from the phone company for all this extra conversation. Even talk isn't cheap anymore. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question. All you got to do is run your $20 into more than our other couples. Can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Councilman Hahn and his partner lead with $298.
Oh, I have a note here to remind me to tell you something. A good friend of mine, S.J. Perelman, has written a slanderous piece about me in the new issue of Holiday magazine. I think you'll like it. You'll find it in the April issue of Holiday. He's a wonderful writer, and even if you don't like the subject matter, I think you'll be crazy about it. Now then, we play the quiz. All right, here we go. Let's see how high I can bid you $20. You selected husband and wife teams of radio and television. Here's your first question. How much of the $20 will you bet and talk out loud?
$19.52.
Here we go. One of the most popular husband and wife teams in radio actually use their own kids, Ricky and David, on their program. What is the name of this couple?
Ozzie and Harriet.
Ozzie and Harriet is right.
You're off to a good start. You have $39.52.
By the way, I saw them in their new movie, Here Come the Nelsons, the other night, and it's real George. For you squares in the audience, that means very good, and I recommend that you go see it. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $39.52 you going to bet this time?
$39?
It'll be fine.
Oh, make it tough on yourself. You're a math teacher.
$39
$39.08.
$39.40 and 2 mils.
And don't forget, the mills of the gods grind slowly. But they grind exceeding fine.
Now, what's he going to bet?
How much you going to bet? Don't let him talk you out of it now, Scott.
$39.40 and 2 mils.
That's right. This man is allegedly a graduate of the University of San Francisco. He ought to know that.
402.
All right, here we go. Who played the title roles in The Halls of Ivy?
Ronald Coleman and his wife, Benita.
Benita Coleman. That's close enough. We'll give you that.
I have it.
Just a moment. How much have you got?
78.92.2.
Exactly what I had.
And I had it right on the tip of my tongue. All right, what is the name of the couple who live in... how much you bet?
We will bet $78.90.
And no Sun teams?
That's good
and
enough.
3 pesos, huh?
I got 3 pesos.
All right, what is the name of the couple who live in Wistful Vista?
Fibber McGee and
Fibber
Molly.
McGee and Molly. Just a moment. How much have they got, Fudd?
Oh, let's see. I lost track.
All right.
I've got it. You have $157.82 in 2 of those mills.
Now they got 4 mills. Now they got the Mills brothers. All right, it's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much you going to bet?
We'll bet $157.81. Okay.
I Love Lucy stars a husband and wife team. What are their names?
Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz.
Absolutely. Answer all those questions.
You wind up with $315.63, 2 mills, and that means that you two, in just 1 minute, get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question. Attention all car owners. Now is the time to get your car ready for warmer weather. Now is the time to drive in at the famous sign of better service, your DeSoto Plymouth dealers, and ask for a springtime live action tune-up. First of all, the DeSoto Plymouth dealers' expert mechanics will go over the engine of your car, adjusting the carburetor, distributor, and timing, cleaning and regapping the spark plugs, cleaning and servicing the air cleaners. This will mean new pep to your car and more miles to the gallon. Your DeSoto Plymouth dealer will see to it that your car is properly lubricated to factory specifications and the engine oil changed, as well as transmission and differential lubricants. Your car's electrical system will be checked after the heavy load of winter. The cooling system, too, will be put in shape for the extra miles of warmer weather driving. So, for extra power, extra economy, extra satisfaction, tomorrow, take your car for that springtime live action tune-up. Take it where you see the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here comes the school teacher and the telephone operator, the winning couple, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question.
All right, here we go for $2,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Ready? One of the most dramatic episodes of World War II occurred in December 1939, when a German pocket battleship was scuttled and burned off the coast of Uruguay. For $2,000, what was the name of this ship? What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Closest we can say is the Schornhorst.
No, I'm sorry. It's the Graf Spee, I guess. S-P-E-E. The Graf Spee is the correct answer, so that means the big question next week will be worth $2,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win the quiz, George?
$315.63.
Congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. 2 great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, the DeSoto fire don't make tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. The 3 R's of safe driving are ready, reasonable, right. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith, music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castile. Well, it's Tuesday night again, time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen and their guest, the star of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer picture, Madame Curie, Walter Pidgeon, with Jimmy Cash, Felix Mills, and his orchestra. And now, meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, it's morning in the Burns house, and George is upstairs dressing. Gracie is just answering the front door.
Gracie, look out your living room window, quick.
Well, Blanche, what is it?
A new neighbor's moving in next door to you, and wait till I tell you who it is, you'll die.
Who is it?
Walter Pidgeon.
Walter Pidgeon, the actor?
Uh-huh.
You mean Mr. Greg Austin?
Yes, aren't you thrilled to death?
Oh, I should say I am. Oh, I just adore him on the screen. Why, when the bombs are exploding all around him and his house is being blown up, nobody could light a pipe like he can.
I know. He's so romantic.
Oh, yes. Look, here comes his living room furniture. Oh, look. See, there's his bookcase.
Uh-huh. That's a pretty coffee table, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And I just love that bridge lamp.
Gracie, look.
Oh, and it looks like such a comfortable sofa.
You're telling me.
We used to have one just like that at home before I got married.
Yeah, but you had George on it.
Well, of course I did. And I wouldn't trade one George Burns for 20 Walter Pidgeons.
Well, that's what makes horse racing.
I guess it's just a matter of taste. You like one thing and I like George.
Oh, look, Gracie. Here comes his bedroom furniture.
Oh, yeah, and there's his bureau.
And the top drawer is open. Oh, my, did you see what just fell out?
Oh, yes. Oh, he wears cute ones, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, they are cute.
Oh, I've been dying for George to get some like those. He wears the long, droopy kind.
they just look droopy on George.
Oh, Blanche, look. Look, right there. It's him, Walter Pidgeon himself, see?
What a man.
Yeah, he is kind of cute looking, isn't he? That brown hair and those white teeth and those blue eyes.
Yeah, same coloring as my husband. Only he has blue eyes, white hair, and brown teeth.
Well, there he goes into the house. Oh, I wouldn't dream of spying on him in his house, would you?
Oh, no, of course not.
It wouldn't be nice.
No.
I'll get my binoculars.
And what are you two doing at the window? Snooping, eh? Shame on you.
Well, George, a glamorous movie star, is moving in next door. I was just going to get the binoculars.
Movie stuff? Well. I'll get the binoculars. Who is she?
Walter Pidgeon.
Snooping, eh? Shame on you.
Well, I think I'll be running along, Gracie. It was wonderful seeing Walter Pidgeon so close up.
Well, glad you enjoyed it, Blanche. Give my regards to your husband.
I will, Gracie. If I ever decide to go home again.
Come away from that window, sweetheart.
Ah, jealous, huh?
No. Should I be?
Oh, of course not. Why, you're much better looking than Walter Pidgeon.
Oh, now, Gracie.
Oh, I mean it, George. Well, when you smile and your nose wrinkles up, it's just too cute for words.
Really?
Yes. It's even cute when you stop smiling and it just hangs there.
Yeah, pretty.
Walter Pidgeon. I'll take George Burns. Life with you is just like a beautiful fairy tale.
Oh, please.
Oh, yes, it is. I often play a game when men whistle at me on the street. I pretend they're wolves and I'm Little Red Riding Hood and I'm hurrying home to you, my dear old grandmother.
Must be fun.
Good morning, folks.
Why, Bill?
Oh, Bill, guess what? We've got a new next-door neighbor, Walter Pidgeon.
Really? Say, I think I'll drop in and tell him about Swan, the new white floating soap. That'll kind of establish me as a bird lover.
A bird lover?
Well, George, think of the headline. Bill Goodwin gets Pigeon to bathe with Swan.
Oh, Judge. Doesn't Bill say the cute things?
Yes, he's a second Ben Turpin.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I'll tell him that Swan's not only great for his bath, but for his hands and face, but it's great for bathing a baby and perfect for dishes and light laundry. Swan is 4 swell soaps in one, a great wartime buy.
Well, I'm glad Mr. Pidgeon's a bachelor, Bill. Now you'll have somebody to pal around with.
Say, that's right. Gee, Pigeon and I can have some real fun together. Double dates, I know a couple of sisters. Beautiful apartment, champagne, home-cooked meal, and, after dinner...
Yeah?
That is, if we play our cards right...
Mm-hmm.
They'll let us wash the dishes with Swan.
Oh, joy supreme.
Well, George, it's a real kick to wash the dishes with Swan. A kick to see those loads and loads of suds. And to know that Swan is so mild and gentle, your hands won't get that rough red dish panty look.
Well, it's time for me to get to the office. Goodbye, sweetheart.
Bye, dear.
And while I'm gone, you two let Pigeon alone. Don't annoy him. And, Gracie, above all, don't try to get him married to Tootsie Sagwell. Goodbye.
Bill, doesn't George get the best ideas? Hand me the phone.
Oh, okay, here you are.
Hello? Hello, Tootsie? Tootsie, this is Gracie. Now, listen carefully. How would you like to marry Walter Pidgeon? Tootsie! Tootsie! Oh, dear.
What happened, Gracie?
A short circuit. I guess she drooled on the wires.
Our popular young tenor Jimmy Cash and a new ballad that's rising in popularity, When They Ask About You.
When I go for a walk and meet old friends we sit around and talk. Then they ask about you. What's the good if I say that you and I are through? I tell them you're away when they ask about you. They wonder where we've been and why we never talk. I take it on the chin until the teardrops fall. They don't mean to be smart, but if they only knew, they're stepping on my heart when they ask about
Oh, Tootsie, for goodness sake, calm down. The way you act, Walter Pidgeon wouldn't even speak to you.
Oh, I don't care. I'd be satisfied just to squeeze him and listen to him grunt.
Now, Tootsie, that's just why we've always failed before. You rush men so. Now, this time I have everything planned.
Well, Gracie, how are you going to get him to propose?
Well, I'm going to put him under obligation to me.
How?
Well, neighbors borrow things, don't they?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to lend him an egg, and then he'll have to do me a little favor and marry you.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
Thank you, Tootsie. Now, I'll take an egg and be on my way. And don't worry, in no time at all, you'll be Mrs. Tootsie Walter Sagwell Pidgeon.
Yes?
Hello, Mr. Pidgeon. I'm Mrs. Burns, your next-door neighbor. Would you like to borrow this egg?
No, thank you very much.
Oh, you're making a big mistake. Eggs are very good for you.
Perhaps...
Oh, they're full of all sorts of healthy things like vitamins and chickens.
Mrs. Burns, I don't want to borrow an egg.
No egg?
No egg. If I find I need one, I'll send to the store.
Oh, don't do that. It's dangerous.
Dangerous?
Well, certainly with the shortage of materials, who knows what they're making eggs out of these days?
Mrs.
Now,
Burns...
this is a real egg. Pre-Pearl Harbor.
A bit ripe, wouldn't you think?
Well, just mellow. Here, take it.
No, thanks. I appreciate your good neighbor spirit, but really, I don't want to borrow your egg.
No egg.
No egg. Good day, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, good day, Mr. Pidgeon. Don't hesitate to call me if you want to borrow an egg.
Well, Gracie, any luck?
Oh, darn it, no. I couldn't lend him a thing. He seems to have everything.
You said it.
And I thought sure I could tempt him.
Well, Tondaleo didn't have any trouble tempting him.
Oh, Tondaleo. That native girl in white cargo.
Yes, the one who wore the sarong.
Oh, so that's what he likes. Oh, aren't men beasts?
Yeah. Lovely, lovely beast.
Tondaleo, huh? I'll be right back.
Oh, it's you again.
Big white stranger like 'em eggs?
What?
Eggs. Good to eat. Come from birds. You want 'em, me got 'em.
Mrs. Burns, just why are you talking like a travelogue?
Me native girl. Live on island.
What island?
Catalina?
Are you asking me or telling me?
Me telling you. Like a Meg?
Really, you shouldn't run around in the neighborhood acting like this. What will your husband say?
You mean paleface?
Well, you know him better than I do.
He no care. Want a Meg?
No, I don't want an egg.
Eggs make white stranger strong. Put hair on chest.
Why don't you give it a pale face?
No got 'em chest.
I see.
Beautiful, gorgeous, stunning native girl give white stranger one more chance to borrow egg. What say, white stranger?
Aloha, Mrs. Burns.
Well, did it work?
Oh, no, Tootsie. I guess he's tired of Tondaleos. Who else has he been running around with?
Well, Mrs. Miniver.
Oh, yes. He borrowed from her. They used to be married.
Sure.
Let me see. She was English, wasn't she?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll be right back, Tootsie.
Oh, no, not you again.
Are you there?
What?
Are you there?
Well, don't you see me?
The Fargo boy. Thick as consomme. Can't see my jolly old digits in front of my jolly old puss.
Are you British now?
Rightfully. Care to borrow a spot of egg?
Oh, that egg again. No, I don't want it.
Delicious with crumpets and a cup of petrol.
No, thanks. I like my petrol without egg.
Amusing chaps, you Americans.
Mrs. Burns, why are you working so hard to get me to borrow that egg?
Because you blimey well needed, old cricket. You look a bit pico today.
Pico?
Yes, tired as an old tea bag. Beastly jolly, eh, what?
More beastly than jolly. But I definitely do not want the egg. Now, if you don't mind...
Cigarette.
What?
Cigarette.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mitch.
Thanks.
Thank you. Egg.
No.
Cad.
Mrs. Burns, once and for all, I don't want to borrow an egg. Now, cheerio.
Are you there?
You don't have to tell me. I can see by your face.
Mrs. Miniver didn't work either.
Gracie. The title of his latest picture is Madame Curie.
Madame Curie. Au revoir, Tootsie.
I left the door open. What is it this time?
French.
French?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Would Yankee like to borrow law egg?
All right, Mrs. Burns, you win. Give me the egg.
There. Well, now that I've done you a favor, will you do a little favor for me?
What is it?
Drop over to the house and marry my girlfriend.
Marry your girlfriend?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
You don't believe in long engagements, do you?
No, will you marry her?
No, thank you.
Well, that's gratitude for you. After pestering me all day to borrow an egg.
Yeah. I did hound you, didn't I? But the answer is still no, even if you throw in a rasher of bacon.
Well, Mr. Pidgeon, won't you at least come over and meet Tootsie?
No, thanks. Say, is this Tootsie between the ages of 20 and 35?
Yes.
Has she had at least 2 years of high school?
Oh, yes, at least 2 years in each class.
I think I would like to meet Tootsie.
Oh, good. Well, come for dinner at 6 o'clock.
Very well, I'll be there.
Oh, dear. With an extra dinner guest now, I'll need another egg. May I borrow one from you?
Oh, yes. I just happen to have one on me.
Oh.
Time for Felix Mills and his orchestra with a special Mills treatment of this lively air, Canadian Capers.
Why did you invite Tootsie Sagwin and Walter Pidgeon to dinner? Didn't I tell you not to annoy Pidgeon with that broken-down dame? Didn't I tell you that Tootsie should...
George, please, remember your appendix.
My appendix was has been taken out for 5 years.
Well, poor Tootsie hasn't been out for 10.
Well, never mind, you're calling this dinner off.
All right, if you don't want to sing in pictures.
Tell Pidgeon you... What was that?
Mr. Pidgeon is coming over just to hear your voice.
Oh, so that's it, huh? Probably wants me to sing in one of his pictures.
Well, sure. You have a remarkable voice. The kind that puts people right in the mood of your song.
It does?
Yes. Remember at Bill's party you sang Leave Me and Love Me or Leave Me?
Uh-huh.
Well, while you were singing I Loved You and everybody else left you.
So Pidgeon wants to hear my voice, huh? Well, okay. He'll have a chance to hear it.
Come in. Oh, good evening, Mr. Pidgeon. This is my husband, George Burns.
How do you do, Mr. Burns? How do you do, Mr. Pidgeon? How do you do? How do you do, Mr. Pidgeon? How are you? An attractive house you have here, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, thanks. It's not very big, but we're crazy about it.
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home.
May I open a window?
No, see here.
I'd like to light my pipe, but I don't want to get the room all smoky.
Oh, that's it.
Where do they go, those smoke rings I blow each night? Oh, those smoke rings.
Happy little fellow, isn't he?
Yes, he sings.
He does?
Oh, yes. I got a special little number worked up. Would you like to hear it?
Well...
Swell. Say, have you ever been away?
Hello, folks. Oh. Walter Pidgeon.
Oh, yes. Walter, this is Bill Goodwin.
How do you do?
I'm glad to meet you.
Sit down, Bill. I'm going to sing a little song for Walter.
Oh, great, George.
Say...
Ever heard George sing before, Walter?
No.
Oh, has a magnificent voice. Go ahead, George.
Say, have you ever been away?
Get that high note, Walter.
Say,
Pure as a bar of Swan. And Swan's pure as fine Castiles.
Now, Bill, don't start with that. Tell him about Swan later.
Oh, well, sure, George. Remind me to tell you later, Walter, about Swan being the new white floating soap that's 4 soaps in one. The soap for bathing the baby, for your own hands and face, or for dishes and light laundry. 4 swell soaps in one.
Bill, don't tell him about Swan. Now, wait till I finish my song.
Oh, well, sure, George. Go ahead.
Say, have you ever been away?
Walter, when he finishes this song... Are you going to hear something?
Bill.
I'm going to tell you why so many doctors recommend Swan for bathing the baby. Because it's so mild, it's kind even to a little baby's tender skin. And since Swan is so mild, it must be swell for your hands and face, your complexion.
Look, Walter, do you want to hear Bill talk about Swan soap, or would you rather hear me sing?
Bill, I understand Swan breaks in two.
Oh, no.
You're absolutely right, Walter. Swan does break in two, so you can put half in the bathroom for your hands and face, tub, or shower, and half in the kitchen for dishes and light laundry.
Are you through?
Yes.
Now, if you open your yap once more, I'm going to throw you out. Say, have you ever been away?
George.
Say,
George.
Oh.
You hurt my feelings. I'm going home.
Darn that guy anyway. I'm sorry, Walter. Well, now I can do it right. Say, have you ever been away?
No, but it's a wonderful idea. Goodbye, everybody.
Wait a minute. After all, you came over here to hear me sing.
I came over here to hear you sing. Whatever gave you that idea?
Gracie, didn't you tell me that...
My dinner's ready. I can smell the water boiling.
Walter, what did you come over for?
Well, I'm very interested in a girl named Tootsie Sagwell.
Walter, things can't be that bad with you.
You don't understand, George. I'm doing some special recruiting for the Wave.
Oh, you want Tootsie to join the Wave?
Of course. And from what your wife told me of her, she loved the Navy.
She already does.
It's the back door, dear. I'll answer it.
Am I late? Is he still here? And how do I look?
No, yes, and peculiar. What have you done to yourself?
Well, I said to myself, Tootsie, what's Queer Garson got that you haven't got? So I bought a red wig.
Oh, it's simply marvelous. Honestly, if Greer Garson didn't look the way she looks and you didn't look the way you look, nobody could tell you apart.
Oh, how wonderful. Where is Mr. Pidgeon? Let me at him.
Oh, right in here. Well, Walter, I guess I don't have to tell you who this is.
Oh, of course not. Hello, Hoppo.
Yeah. Pidgeon, this is Tootsie Sagwell.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Miss Sagwell.
Oh, Mr. Pidgeon, it's really you. I can hardly believe my eyes.
I'm having a little trouble, too.
George, let's you and I go into the next room. Walter probably wants to be alone with Tootsie.
No, don't leave. What I have to say to Tootsie, I want the whole world to hear. May I ask you a few questions, Tootsie?
Oh, sure.
Are you between the ages of 20 and 35?
Uh-huh.
Oh, does she have to tell you how far between?
No. That's all right. And you're single, naturally?
Naturally.
Naturally. Yes, naturally. Although that doesn't matter. If you were married and had no children under 18, you'd still be eligible.
I would?
Certainly. Now, Tootsie, I want you to understand the problem. Every day, more and more sailors are leaving their posts to carry men and materials overseas. The situation is really desperate.
You're telling her.
Oh, gee, Mr. Pidgeon, imagine you picking me out of all the women in this country.
Oh, I don't want only you, Tootsie. I want thousands of women.
Thousands?
Mr. Pidgeon, don't you think you're biting off a little more than you can chew?
I'm not asking anything for myself, Gracie. It's for Uncle Sam.
Ah, well, I like that. Let your uncle get his own women.
Walter, you better explain just what you want Tootsie to be.
Why, a wave, Tootsie, of course.
A wave?
Yes, and every woman who is eligible should join. It's a fine way to share the experiences and adventures of her fighting brothers and friends who are now in the armed forces.
Well, all right. Tootsie can become a wave and a bride on the same day.
Bride?
Well, yes. Now, let's eat before the ceremony. You don't want to marry Tootsie on an empty stomach.
I certainly don't, or any other way.
Well, you will before I'm through. As long as you live next door to me, I'll be at your house every single day until you decide to be more neighborly.
Well, in that case, Mrs. Burns, I'd better run along. I have to get up very early tomorrow morning.
Oh, really? Why?
It's moving day again. Goodbye.
George and Gracie will be back in just a moment. Friends, we have as our guest next week lovely Loretta Young, and the following week, Charles Boyer. And now, before George and Gracie return, I've time to remind you that you can't be too careful when it comes to choosing the soap for your baby. So better think twice and choose Swan. Lots of doctors and nurses recommend Swan. They know it's pure as fine Castiles. And they know, too, that Swan is mild, so gentle, that it will not irritate your baby's skin. And look, it's just good common sense that if Swan is that pure, that mild, well, you just can't get a finer soap for your own complexion now, can you? Think it over. I'm sure straight thinking will lead you to Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, here again are George and Gracie.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Navy has a tremendous job ahead of it, and we women should be proud that we've been given a chance to do our share. The need for wave recruits is urgent. Every girl who is eligible and who is not now working in a war plant should talk about the waves with a Navy recruiting officer, or she can write to Waves, Washington, D.C., and ask for a free illustrated booklet, The Story of You in Navy Blue. Do it now, without delay. Good night.
Good night, all. Remember George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS next Tuesday night. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
The Amos and Andy Show. A full half hour of entertainment with all the Amos and Andy characters, plus Bud Gruskin and his orchestra, and those famous Delta Rhythm Boys. There comes a time in every woman's life when she decides that her home needs improving. That time has come to Mrs. George Stevens, who is currently in the middle of a tirade against her loving husband, otherwise known as the Kingfish.
George, we've got to do something to improve the look of our home. Why, just look at that sofa. It needs reupholstering.
Yeah, well, that's going to cost too much money. Why can't we just get a slipcover?
It's got a slipcover on it now.
Well, get a slipcover for the slipcover, then.
And in our bedroom, George, we ought to have a carpet with an Ozite cushion. That cushion underneath sure does help an awful lot.
Yeah, well, what's the matter with the Ozite cushion we're using now?
Nothing. But I'd like to have a carpet over it. And look in our living room how bad and shabby these throw rugs look.
Yeah, why you call them throw rugs?
Because the people upstairs throwed them away, and I went out the alley and picked them up.
Yeah, well, you ought to drop out in the alley more often, honey, see what's coming down.
You just look at the curved part of that rocking chair in the back there. Got that great big crack in it. You know I like to sit down with my knitting and rock to and fro.
Well, you can rock, too. Just be a little careful on the floor, that's all.
Now, listen here, George. You got to make some money so we can fix this place up.
Yeah, well, now, look, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Honey, I've been thinking about something. How about taking in a roomer? We could rent our bedroom, and we could sleep in the parlor.
Well, we got to get some money somewhere, and I think that's about the only thing we can do.
Now, you leave it to me.
All right. Maybe you can find somebody that would like to live in a nice, comfortable home.
Yeah, the only thing is, let's rent our place first. Well, like I say, Henry, me and my wife have decided to take a roomer in the house.
That's a charming idea, Kingfish. The Stuyvesant Peabody's done that very thing themselves. It was quite an experience.
Oh, it was, huh?
Oh, yes. A very handsome man rented the room on the first of the month. And mind you, 5 days later, he ran off with Mr. Peabody's wife.
Yeah, well, did Mr. Peabody go to the police?
Oh, no. The man was paid up for a month in advance.
By the way, Henry, do you know anybody that wants to rent a room?
Well, let me see. Yes, I could get you the DePipers. There's the cream of high society, you know.
Well, we don't want but one person in the house, though.
Well, come to think of it, your location is over 6 blocks from Mr. DePice's place of business.
Yeah, well, 6 blocks ain't far.
Yes, but it's pretty far for Mr. DePice to walk after a hard night setting up them pins in the bowling alley.
Well, now, I want to rent a room to somebody that won't give us no trouble.
Well, how about your friend Andy? You could get him to give up his room over at 30 Simpson's place and move over with you.
Oh, no, Henry. He'd never give up that place. He got his gal's telephone numbers written all over the wall there and everything.
Yes, I guess the only way you could get Andy out of his room is by having the building tore down.
Yeah, I guess, hey, Henry, that give me an idea. I believe I'll go over and see Andy. I wonder if he would pay his room rent on time, though.
Well, your wife would be right there. During the night, when she goes through your pants pockets, let her go through Andy's, too.
Come in, Andy. Come in. Sit down.
Yeah, hi, Kingfish. What's new today?
Oh, nothing. I just been over to the firehouse playing checkers with the chief. He told me confidential that they're going to tear down, say, the Simpsons boarding house, kind of it being a fire hazard.
Oh, wait a minute, Joe. I live there.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Andy. You're right in the middle of the hazard, ain't you?
Well, where in the world will I find another room?
Yeah, well, I can't let a pal down, though, so I guess I'll just have to make room for you over at my house.
Well, gee, Kingfish, that'll save my life. What kind of arrangements can I make with you?
Well, I just happen to have a sample contract here that's been approved by the United States Rooming House Association. I got right here.
Wait a minute. You mean I got to sign something?
Well, I wouldn't want you to go unprotected, you know.
No, that's right. Well, read me the thing. What does it say?
Oh, let me see here now. Is you the lefty or the lessor? Oh, I know what you is. You the lefty.
How you figure?
Well, I pull the contract out of my pocket. You say lefty, so that makes you the lefty, don't it?
Well, let's see.
Well, I'll read it to you. This is the official form here. Say here, I, George Stevens, hereafter known as the landlord, hereby leases one room to Mr. Blank, hereafter known as the roomer.
Mr. Blank going to be in a room with me?
Oh, no, Mr. Blank ain't nobody.
You mean he's a bum?
Oh, no, Mr. Blank is the same as John Doe.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him, all right. He's that fellow they make checks payable to.
Yeah, but John Doe is not alive.
And he's going to be in the room with me?
No, we just use Doe as an example.
I'd rather have Blank in there with me.
That's who I had down here in the first place, to see Blank.
Yeah, well, who's going to get this room now? Because they're tearing down the building where I live, and I got to move. You know?
Well, just before you sign this, your name goes in where Blank is. He's out, you see.
Yeah, well, maybe Blank and John Doe can double up and find a room somewhere else in town.
And the Blank was nobody to start with.
But then I don't blame you for not having him in the house then. And I certainly ain't going to worry about John Doe. He's dead.
Well, listen, I must read any more of this, or is the whole thing clear to you?
Yeah, well, how much is the rent?
$5 a week.
Nothing doing, Kingfish. Listen, this whole thing sounds fishy, you know it?
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth, Andy. I'm trying to get a room at my house there to make some money to fix up the joint. I don't think nobody's going to be dumb enough, though, to move into my place as bad as it looks over there.
Yeah, that place is pretty bad, all right.
Oh, I tell you, Andy, nothing seems to work out for me no more. Every year about this time, I just get down in the dumps.
Well, I know you do, Kingfish, but things usually comes out all right for you. Just remember.
Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regret, because it isn't raining rain, you know, it's raining violets. And when you see clouds up on the hill, you soon will see clouds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for his song. Whenever April showers come along, I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with your rain, I've a smile on my face. Walking down the lane with a happy refrain and singing in the rain. And where you see clouds upon the hill, you soon will see clouds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for his song. Whenever April showers come along.
Well, Andy, I see in the day's paper in the one ad section there about the Kingfish renting a room.
Yeah, he told me he was going to put it in there. I give him the idea of being the fire chief.
Yeah, hit this right here. Cut it out.
So let's read the thing. Let's hear it.
Well, see here on the first line, room for rent in lovely home.
Lovely home. You show that to Kingfish's ad?
Yeah, well, his place do need a little fixing up, I admit that.
Fixing up. Some of them rugs he got laying around the living room is so thin that every time the Kingfish's wife runs the vacuum over them, it sucks them up, and she's got to dig them out of the bag.
Oh, them rugs are pretty well shot, all right.
I'll say they is. They got more fringe in the middle than they got around the edge. Read some more of that ad.
Yeah, well, see here, room for rent, lovely home, someone who will fit in with congenial couple.
The only one that would fit in with them would be a referee.
Then I say here, apply between 3 and 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Come in, Kingfish.
Yeah, we're just reading the ad here.
Well, boys, me and stuff, I want to rent a room. Tell me, what kind of a room you want to get a hold of? Oh, one that's quiet, clean, neat, don't move around much, don't play the radio, and don't snore.
Yeah, well, that dead man, John Doe, sounds like your best bet.
Tell me this, ain't time for you to go home and interview these people at 3 o'clock now. Holy smoke, I was almost late. Sapphire, there's the doorbell now. Is the house all clean?
The house is spick and span. Now let's pick a good roomer so we'll all be happy here.
Well, you lucky folks, look me over. Your new roomer is here. Folks, the only thing I gotta have is a stall shower. And when it comes to paying the rent, I use the sawdust.
Well, you see, Mr.
Me and my pal will be very quiet in here, won't we, pal?
Well, Mr. Stevens, I would love to rent the room. You have a nice place here. You are such an attractive man. Sorry, but we have already rented the room, madam.
Oh, Sapphire, this man's got a badge on, doesn't he? Come in, sir, come in.
Well, how do you do? My name is Hancock. I'm from the OPA.
The OPA, yes, sir. Glad you dropped by. Ain't nothing wrong here, mister.
Well, what are you charging for this room you're advertising?
Charging? We is way below the ceiling, the floor, and everything else. We only charging $1 a week.
Good, I'll take it.
Oh, sorry, mister, we done rented the place. Wait a minute. Well, Sapphire, I think that this girl here can have the room, can't she?
It's all right with me. Well, now, how about kitchen privileges?
Kitchen?
Yes, my sister tells me that I ought to have them. She has kitchen privileges where she lives over on Lennox Avenue, and she says I ought to have everything I want.
Well, we'll work out something.
My sister told me she's moving here.
Yeah, well, if you want to sign a year's lease, you better do it pretty quick, because we're going to rent this place right away.
Well, all right, Mr. Stevens, I'll sign the lease. Do you have a pen?
Oh, yeah, there you are, right there.
Oh, that must be sister at the door now. I'll get it. How do you do? Out of the way, please. I want to see my sister. Well, honey, how does the joint look? Oh, hello. This is Mr. Stevens. How do you do?
Well, I'm pleased to make your...
what goes, honey? Is the setup okay?
Your sister here wants kitchen privileges.
And she's going to get them, too, because where I live, I get them, and she ought to be able to do the same thing here that I'm doing where I am. And what do you say, honey? I would like to know what is that. May I ask? You may, and I'll tell you. I got the privilege of hanging up my stockings in the bathroom, my unders in the kitchen, and my cottons in the living room, and I want my sister to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah, your sister signed the lease with us, and I don't think that stuff is in the lease.
We got OPA that'll take care of people like you. I've already signed the lease for a year. Then we got them just where we want them. Come on, honey, let's go get your stuff. George Stevens, that woman's been here for 4 days, and she's driving me crazy.
Yeah, she's driving me crazy, too, but how can we get her out? She got a lease.
If it's your idea about getting her in, now get her out.
Okay, honey, I'll go over to see my lawyer, LaGuardia Stonewall, right now. Well, let's see. This is LaGuardia's office right here.
Yeah, but listen, sweetheart, I told you everything I can think of to tell you.
Hi, LaGuardia.
Hi, Bob. Excuse me, man. Now, listen, honey, now just lay the phone down. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you look all tuckered out there. What's the matter?
I've been talking to my girl in California for the past 36 hours.
Let me ask you, LaGuardia. I got a woman in my house that's mean, the woman is irritating, and the woman is making life miserable.
Yeah, I know, Bob. I've met your wife.
No. Look, LaGuardia. This is another woman in my house that's making my life miserable.
Oh, now I get you. Yeah, a bigamy case, huh?
No, listen to me now. Now, open up your ear there. Look out. One of the women is rooming. The one woman is rooming there, you see. Now, just tell me how I can get rid of the room.
Well, my landlord had a case just like that.
Yeah, well, what he do might give me an idea.
He handled it very smart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he asked me as a personal favor if I would write him out a legal eviction notice, and I read him up one that was really foolproof.
Yeah, did he serve it all right?
Did he? I had to sleep on a park bench for 3 nights.
Look here, this gal that I'm talking about, that woman there, has got a sister that comes over and keeps telling her what to do. And she does everything that crazy sister tells her to do.
Take Johnny to the household, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, hangs up a washing around the place. Every time I walk through the living room, I end up with a couple of wet stockings around my neck and a wet slip in my face. And I got a year's lease with her.
You'd be drowned by that time. Hey, you know something? Now, your only hope, Kingfish, is to get the gal married so some loving husband will take her away from you.
Hey, that gives me an idea. I'll see my good bachelor friend Andy Brown right now.
Necessity, that most unnecessary thing, necessity. What goes a monkey wrenching? A fellow's good intention. That nasty old invention. Necessity. My feet want to dance in the sun. My head wants to rest in the shade. The Lord says go out and have fun. But the landlord says your rent ain't paid. Necessity. It's plain to see what a lovely old world this silly old world could be. But man, it's all in a mess. Account of necessity. Account of necessity. Account of necessity. The jail would never been there except for folks who been there. Well, how did I get in there? necessity. When my feet wanna dance in the sun, my head wants to rest in the shade.
The Lord says, go out and have fun.
But the landlord says,
Your rent ain't paid.
Necessity, that's the maximum, that's a minimum thing to be. But man, it's all in a mess, I must confess. There's nothing more than less unless.
Brother Ender, it's that one word I've been telling you about, and that is
Necessity.
Hi, Kingfish. Glad you dropped in.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking a lot about you, Brother Ender. I knows how alone you must feel over here in your room.
Yeah, it does feel that way sometimes.
Andy, have you ever noticed that when somebody's in the room with you, you don't feel alone no more?
Yeah. Why is that?
Human nature, Andy, human nature. Yeah, you know, with a wife here with you, it'd be a wonderful thing. You ought to get married, Brother Andy.
Why, Kingfish?
Well, for one thing, when you die, it would be pretty sad without a wife. Just think of your funeral. You laying there dead, nobody to cheer you up, you see that?
Yeah, I guess that's one time I need cheering up, all right.
Yeah. Oh, every funeral needs a feminine touch. Nice wife around throwing flowers on your grave, something to add life to the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want my funeral to be no flop.
Oh, no.
Well, I done thunk about getting married, Kingfish, but where will I find a gal that'd throw flowers and all that stuff?
Well, now, there's a cute gal that's been living over at our house about a week.
You mean that gal that keeps her wash tub on the piano?
Oh, she's a darling, Andy.
Well, she ain't bad. I see her at a distance, but that sister of hers would drive me crazy. No, Kingfish, I don't want to get married.
Well, I'm going to break down and tell you the truth, Andy. I want to get that gal out of my house.
Yeah, well, hello, Shorty.
Come in, Shorty. How is you?
oh, well, I'm doggone. What's cooking? I didn't expect you could be higher, fellas.
Look here, Shorty. For me and stuff, I was having a lot of trouble with a rumor at our house, and I thought you might know some way of getting rid of rumors.
Well, the landlady where I live once tried to get rid of me. Her husband would come in my room 3 or 4 times during the night and beat me up and throw me down the stairs.
He would beat you up and throw you down the stairs 3 or 4 times a night?
One night he started at midnight and he beat me up every 30 minutes until daybreak.
Yeah, well, how could you stand it?
Well, I wasn't working and I could sleep late in the morning.
Well, listen, Shorty, the Kingfish wants to get rid of a rumor, but he can't beat her up.
But I'm living in a wonderful place now. But I got to get out. The Board of Health come around yesterday and said it's against the law for so many people to be living in one room.
How many people living in it, Shorty?
Only 7 others.
7?
The Board of Health claims it was 9, but they was counting the 2 fellas that's living in the closet.
Can't count them. Shorty, you just give me a great idea. Now, listen, Andy, you ain't met the gal yet. Now, look here, Andy, you is going to be the health inspector. We is going over there, and you is going to tell her that the place is too small for 3 people to live, and she got to move out.
All right, I'll help you. I'll even spray myself with DDT so I'll smell official.
Miss Martin, shake hands with Inspector Brown of the Board of Health.
Well, how you do?
Pardon my white sterilized gloves.
Yeah, you see, the health department insists on sanitary introduction.
That's right. They don't want the taxpayers shaking hands with a germ.
The Board of Health sent Inspector Brown up here to look over the apartment.
Oh, is that so?
Tell me, Inspector, what do you think of the apartment?
Well, it's a very nice place, Mr. Stevens. Just the right size for a small couple.
A small couple, but there are 3 of us here, Inspector, counting her.
Oh, do you live here too, Miss Martin?
Yes, I'm living with Mr. and Mrs. Stevens.
Rooming here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Martin, that ain't good.
Why not?
You see, Miss Martin, an extra person breathing in a small apartment cuts down the oxygen in the room.
Oh?
And you being here all day uses most of it up, so there ain't none left for Mr. Stevens to breathe when he gets home.
But I always leave leaves the window open.
That's even worse. That lets all the oxygen out, and they can't nobody breathe.
I'm sorry about the whole thing, Miss Martin, but we can't fight the Board of Health. They're the ones that pass the sanitary laws.
That's right. I ain't got nothing to do with that sanity stuff. Us inspectors have got to protect the people's health and try to keep them alive till we can overcome the crowded conditions in the cemeteries.
Excuse me, Inspector. You mean the cemeteries is overcrowded, too?
Oh, yeah. Living conditions there is even worse than they is in the city.
Really jammed up, huh?
Oh, sure. I understand that Woodlawn Park ain't got nothing left but standing room.
Is that bad situation all right? That's bad, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. I hear if things get any worse, they're going to do what the hotels is doing. Only let people stay there 5 days.
Well, my sister said...
Well, now, listen, I was sick and tired of hearing about that sister of yours.
It's too bad, Miss Martin, but this matter comes under the laws of the Board of Health, and I'll have to order you to move.
To move?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but there ain't nothing I can do about it. I is only an inspector.
I'm not going to do anything until I talk to my sister.
Yeah, well, this is an official order from the Board of Health. And for once, that big-mouth sister of yours ain't going to be able to help you.
Well, I don't know why not. She goes with the chief inspector of the Harlem branch.
Chief Inspector of the Harlem branch. Ha, ha, ha. So long, Kingfish.
Well, now, Miss Martin, another thing that's more important than any of this, I just come from seeing my lawyer, and he tells me, according to the lease, I is allowed to raise your rent.
Raise my rent?
Yeah, so from now on, instead of paying $5 a week, you'll have to pay $10.
Oh, but Mr. Stevens, I can't afford to pay that much rent.
Well, then you'll have to make other arrangements.
But it'll take a little time to make other arrangements.
Oh, there's no rush. Take all the time you want. Take till 6 o'clock tonight. Go ahead. Well, don't worry, Sapphire, dear. I told Miss Martin that she had to make different arrangements.
Oh, that's wonderful, George. We have certainly learned our lesson about renting a room. Now we can be alone at last.
Yeah, I'll knock on the door and see if she's ready to leave. Pardon me for protruding here, but if you done made arrangements about getting out...
Well, Mr. Stevens, my sister went out to find me a room. I'm waiting for her to come back right this minute because I just can't afford to pay $10 a week.
Yeah, well, she can find a lot of rooms in town that...
That must be my sister now. Will you let her in?
Yeah, I'll get the door. How do you do?
None of your business.
I trust that you have solved your sister's women problem.
I certainly have. I was moving in with her to share them expenses.
Angels were singing a hymn to your charm. Two hearts gently beating were murmuring low. My darling, I love you so. Night seemed to fade into blossoming dawn. The sun shone on you.
Amos and Andy Show has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks, written by Al Lewis. Well, most of us have our good days and our bad days. And our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, is no exception to this rule.
They say there are days when it doesn't pay you to get out of bed. Well, last Friday, when my rent was due, was just such a day for my landlady, Mrs. Davis. I brought the subject up as soon as we had started to eat breakfast. I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Davis, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. It's about the rent.
You mean last month's rent? You haven't got it yet?
I mean this month's rent. I haven't got it again.
Well, don't worry about it, dear. How does that old joke go again? There's no sense in both of us worrying. What am I laughing about? I'm broker than you are.
Maybe so, Mrs. Davis, but you don't owe you as much as I do. But all hope isn't lost, though. I found out this week that I still have a chance to become head of Madison's English department.
Really?
Yes. In fact, I'm supposed to have a meeting with Mr. Stone of the Board of Education this morning.
Where, Connie?
In the office of our beloved principal, Mr. Conklin.
I see. Do you think Mr. Conklin will put in a word for you?
That's why I want to get there early. I think I know the word. Actually, though, I'm not too worried about Mr. Conklin's attitude toward my teaching ability.
Is it up to Mr. Stone to make the recommendation for Madison's new head of the English department?
Yes, it is. And I understand that he won't recommend any promotions without a personal interview. That's why I asked Walter Denton to pick me up a little earlier this morning.
He'll be here, Connie, and I know you'll get the position.
I hope so, Mrs. Davis. You see, it isn't just the honor involved, it's the cash. The promotion carries a raise with it. Just think, I'll be able to pay you back the rent I owe, buy some new clothes, do my Christmas shopping, pick up a new winter coat, maybe even put a down payment on a car.
Oh, that's wonderful, Connie. How much of a raise goes with this job?
$2 a month. Or maybe it's $2 a week. Come to think of it, I might have to wait a while for the car.
Well, I'm very excited for you, Connie. I only wish we could celebrate with a little more luxurious breakfast. Toast and marmalade isn't very gala.
Oh, I don't know.
And there's not much of that, I'm sorry to say. I tried to call the market this morning, but our party line was in use. In fact, it's almost always in use.
Yes, I know.
It's
Every time
some woman named Grace, and she's always talking to a friend of hers named Bertha. It's so frustrating sometimes when you want to make a call, and every time you pick up the phone, someone's talking.
I know. I try to get in there.
The things they were talking about were of any importance. They just go on and on and on and on.
Mrs. Davis,
they never give anybody a chance.
You'd think they'd get the idea, though, after hearing my receiver click a few times.
Mrs. Davis,
But
I would like to say...
No. They just go on chattering about nothing. Yuckity, yuckity, yuckita. Honestly, sometimes I could
Mrs. Davis.
Yes, honey.
Deposit 5 cents for another 3 minutes, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I guess I got carried away. Have some more coffee.
Thanks, I will. Here's my cup. I wonder what's keeping Walter Denton. My interview with Mr. Stone's at 9 sharp.
Well, it isn't 8:30 yet, Connie. But if it'll make you feel any better, why don't you give Walter a ring?
Good idea. Excuse me.
Believe me, Bertha, I'm not petty. But when Elsie pulled that stuff on me about the tickets, I just had to open up my yap and let her have it.
It's the party line again. Wouldn't you know it? Just when I have to make a quick call. I'll count 10 and try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10...
11, 12, even $15 would be all right. Daddy, she come off with that $20 a couple baloney.
Oh, this is awful.
Now, take it easy, Connie. I'm sure Walter will get you to school in plenty of time for your appointment. Now, I'm going to wash the dishes here. Why don't you put your hat and coat on and be all ready to leave?
All right, Mrs. Davis, but first I'm going to try this phone once more.
So I told her, Bertha, listen, Elsie, I said, it isn't like us and I don't want to do our full share, I said. We know this is a benefit performance and that it's a good cause. But we weren't born yesterday, I told her.
1, 2, 3, 4...
I can't understand why Walter Denton isn't here yet, Connie. It's almost 10 minutes to 9. Too late to take a bus.
It was too late to take the bus half an hour ago. I'd take a cab if I had the money. Or if you had the money. Have you, Mrs. Davis? Don't bother answering. I can tell by your face. Of course, it only takes 10 minutes to drive to school the way Walter drives, but if he doesn't show up within a minute or two, I'd better call Mr. Conklin and tell him I'll be a little late.
Then when I'm all ready to forgive and forget, Bertha, what do you think Elsie has the nerve to say to me?
Will you please stop talking for just a minute?
Exactly, Bertha. Will you please... please stop talking for just a minute, she said.
Will you answer the front door, Connie? I'm stacking the dishes.
All right, Mrs. Davis.
Hang on a minute, will you, Bertha? I think I hear my doorbell ringing.
Oh. It's not your doorbell that's ringing. It's... Oh, what's the use? Well, it's about time. Oh, it's Harriet Conklin. Come in, Harriet.
Thanks, Miss Brooks. Well, what are you doing at home, Miss Brooks? You should be on your way to school by now.
So should you, Harriet.
I know it, but Daddy left the house early this morning and asked me to be sure and see that you got to school on time. So I called Walter Denton, and he said he'd pick me up on his way over to school to pick you up. But then he called back and said his car had broken down and he had to walk to school, and when he tried to phone you, all he kept getting was a busy signal. So I took the bus over here to tell you, and now we're both going to be late, and Daddy will have our scout because Mr. Stone is waiting to see you, too.
If that sentence doesn't win this year's Nobel Prize for Literature, you've been treated.
Please, Miss Brooks, you've got to call Daddy right away.
I've tried to, Harriet, but we've got a party line, and their phone's been in use all morning. That's why Walter got a busy signal when he called. But I'll give it another whirl.
So we took the tickets, Bertha. After all, why be small for the sake of a few dollars? If Elsie wants to be that way, that's her business. Grace Gibble is different. Even if this were drafting off at you, Hudson, I'd rather be open and above board than do anything else.
Except talk.
Oh, hang on a few minutes, will you, Bertha? I have to put up my pot roast now. Gus likes it at least once a week. Tonight's the night. Hang on.
Just a minute. Please don't go away.
Who's going away? I'll just sit and drink a Coke till you get the meat on, Grace.
Fine, honey. This way we'll keep the connection open between us. I'm on a party line, you know, and boy, can those people who share this phone with us shoot the breeze. I'll just be a gift, dear.
Okay, girl. Oh, say, before you go, I'll give you a little tip. Have you got any bay leaves home?
Yeah.
You got a lot of bay leaves home?
Yeah.
Well, stick them in your mouth and jump in the stove with the pot roast.
It's me, Mr. Conklin, Miss Brooks.
Well, nice of you to drop in on us, Miss Brooks.
Just happened to be in the neighborhood, did you?
I know I'm late, Mr. Conklin,
You
but
had a 9 o'clock appointment in this office with Mr. Stone. Do you know what time it is now, Miss Brooks?
After 9:30?
Yes, it is after 9:30. It's 10:40!
Please, Mr. Conklin, I can explain if you'll just let me.
It's too late for explanations. Mr. Stone has left.
But he'll be back, won't he? He hasn't decided on anyone else.
Fortunately for you, Miss Brooks, Mr. Stone happens to be an extremely fair-minded individual. He's leaving for the state capitol at 7 o'clock this evening, but has promised to call you on the phone between 6 and 6:30.
On the phone?
Yes. Confidentially, Miss Brooks, in spite of the steady stream of irritants with which you pepper my otherwise prosaic life, my integrity forced me to recommend you rather highly for this position.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Conklin.
Now, the important thing to Mr. Stone is the availability and cooperative spirit of the person he chooses. That is, if you're going to be head of a department, you'll probably want to know how accessible you can make yourself to the other teachers.
He ought to talk to Mr. Boynton. It's very nice of you to tell me all this, Mr. Conklin, but if my getting this job depends on Mr. Stone reaching me on the phone tonight, I'm afraid I'm still out of the running.
What do you mean?
I'm on a party line that won't quit. They're constantly using the phone. He'll never get through to me.
Then have your party line changed. Call the telephone company and tell them you want a different party line.
What a wonderful suggestion, Mr. Conklin. I'll do it right after my last morning class. I'll call the phone company and ask for a new party line and a long cord.
A long cord? What for?
That's so if they don't give me the new party line, I can hang Grace and Bertha.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith.
Now, proof that brushing teeth right after eating with Colgate Dental Cream helps stop tooth decay before it starts.
Continuous research, hundreds of case histories, makes this the most conclusive proof in all dentifrice research on tooth decay.
Eminent dental authorities supervised hundreds of college men and women for over 2 years. One group always brushed their teeth with Colgate right after eating. The other followed their usual dental care.
The group using Colgate Dental Cream as directed, using Colgate's exclusively, showed a startling reduction in average number of cavities, far less tooth decay. The other group developed new cavities at a much higher rate. No other dentifrice offers proof of these results.
Modern research indicates decay is caused by mouth acids, which are at their worst right after eating. Brushing teeth with Colgate as directed helps remove acids before they harm enamel. Yes, Colgate contains all the necessary ingredients, including an exclusive patented ingredient for effective daily dental care.
So remember, always use Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay.
Well, when lunchtime rolled around, I called the telephone company and was quite chagrined to learn that they couldn't possibly change my party line by the same evening. So I determined to put into effect Plan X, which decoded meant Operation I'll Face the People and Ask Them to Keep Off the Line from 6 to 6:30. I told Walter Denton about my scheme when I ran into him in the school cafeteria. I can't tell you all the details, Walter, but it's absolutely essential that my phone is clear this evening. And there's only one way I can accomplish it. Will you help me?
Now, as always, Miss Brooks, my sword, my heart, and my life are dedicated to your service.
Thanks, Walter. Now pick up your jacket. I can step over that puddle of chicken broth. Sit down here a minute, Walter, and I'll tell you what I'd like you to do for me.
Okay, Miss Brooks.
First of all, I looked up the address of my party line playmate, Grace Gribble, and I found out that it's quite a distance from my place. Hence, I'd appreciate a lift.
Well, I'd be happy to supply the lift, Miss Brooks, but alas, my chariot is at present reposing in durance vile.
Endurance vile?
I loused up the carburetor. I mean, the car's being repaired, Miss Brooks, and that's why I couldn't get you this morning. I hope you've forgiven me for that unseeming lapse.
What did you have for lunch today? A Shakespeare burger? Look, Walter, What's wrong with the car?
Oh, I broke a little wire that's attached to the carburetor.
Well, it shouldn't take too long to have another wire put in.
Oh, no, but when the wire broke, it got tangled up in the fan belt and ripped it to pieces.
And then all you need is a new wire and a fan belt.
Not exactly. You see, when the fan belt hit the fan, it flew out of its socket.
Then you need a new fan, too.
Then when the fan flew into the radiator, the water poured into the distributor and ruined it and the spark plugs.
So all we need is a new fan belt, fan, radiator, distributor, and spark plug.
And a new sign by the trolley tracks around the corner.
A new sign?
That's what I smacked into when I busted that little wire. I promised the officer I'd replace the sign.
What did the sign say, Walter?
Safety zone.
If I knew jiu-jitsu, you'd be lying across that steam table by now. Look, I've got to get out to 145 Collier Drive today, Walter. That's where the Gribbles live. Have you any suggestions?
Oh, sure. Now, I happen to know that Mr. Boynton just got his car all fixed up. I was in the repair shop when he paid his bill.
Mr. Boynton?
That's right. So, why don't you ask him to drive you this afternoon? This way, you will not only get to your destination promptly, but both you and Mr. Boynton will be in the company of people who obviously mean much more to each other than shows on the surface so far.
Kill me, I love this type of boy.
Come in. Well, it's Miss Brooks. Come in.
Thanks, Mr. Boynton. I'm glad I caught you before you left for the day.
Oh, I was just tidying up the lab a bit. I've had quite a job cleaning my Bunsen burner.
Oh, dirty flame?
Something seems to be stuck here. There, it's out. Now, what can I do for you, Miss Brooks?
You can drive me out to Collier Avenue, Mr. Boynton, if you've got the time. You see, I'm expecting an important call from Mr. Stone around 6 this evening, and I've got to talk to the people who share the party line on my telephone.
Oh, do you know them, Miss Brooks?
Not personally, but they use the phone almost incessantly, and Mr. Stone wants to talk to me about my qualifications to head the English department. I just want to ask them to leave it free between 6 and 6:30.
Oh, I see. Well, I'd certainly like to help you out, Miss Brooks, but frankly, I'm on a budget.
I don't want you to buy me these people. I just want to lift to their house.
You don't understand. Collier Avenue is quite a way out, and I've had to limit my gas consumption. As I told you last night on the phone, if we go for a ride tonight through the park, I won't be able to use the car again until Monday.
But this is very important, Mr. Boynton.
So is self-discipline, Miss Brooks. It isn't just the money involved. Although I find by purchasing only 3 gallons a week instead of 4, I save 83 cents a month. Which, when you add it up in a few years, it comes to a pretty penny.
Believe me, Mr. Boynton, saving a pretty penny may be fun, but you can also get a kick out of spending an occasional ugly quarter. If it's just a question of gas rationing, suppose I replace whatever gas is used up.
Please, Miss Brooks, are you suggesting that I take money from a woman?
No, gas.
No, it's out of the question.
All right, then I'll let you pay for it.
Well, that's not the solution either. It's a matter of principle with me. If I throw my budget out the window this time, I'll be tempted to do it again. A thing like that can become habit-forming. Don't you see, Miss Brooks, spending money is a disease.
Well, don't make out your will yet. You'll never catch it.
Gee, Miss Brooks, you make me feel as if you think I'm cheap.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Boynton. You're a very ready man with a budget. But don't worry about it. I'll get out there some way. I've still got my good right thumb and a pair of uncomfortable old shoes on my aching feet.
Miss Brooks.
Yes, Mr. Boynton?
I've just been stalling. I'm flat broke.
Welcome aboard.
You see, the truth of the matter is I spent my last $6 getting the car repaired, and I just haven't enough money to put any gas in this afternoon. But I'll tell you what, I'll borrow a couple of dollars from one of the other teachers. Now, don't you worry. I'll get you out there some way.
If I've said it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. There's no sense in both of us worrying.
Well, here we are, Miss Brooks. 145 Collier Avenue. If you don't mind, I'll wait out here in the car while you talk to the Gribbles.
All right, Mr. Boynton. I'll just be a few minutes.
Yeah, come on. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gribble?
Yes, ma'am?
I'm Miss Brooks. I share the party line on your telephone with you. There's something I'd like to speak to you and Mrs. Gribble about.
Oh, well, come in, Miss Brooks. Sit right down here in the living room.
Thank you.
My wife will be out in a minute. She's on the telephone.
Naturally.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing, Mr. Gribble. You see, the reason I dropped over is to ask a little favor. I've always tried to be a good party line neighbor.
Oh, so have we, Miss Brooks. I don't see any reason why people on a party line should get into hassles, do you?
Well,
I believe if you just respect one another's privacy, everything will work out fine. Well, the minute we pick up the receiver, if we hear another voice or somebody's dialing, we hang right up.
That's fine, Mr. Gribble. So do I, but Mrs. Gribble is on the phone quite a bit, and tonight I'm expecting a terribly important call between 6 and 6:30, and I wonder if you could sort of keep off your phone until I talk to my party.
I don't see why we can't work something out. I'll talk to Grace about it right now. Pardon me, just 1 minute.
You know how Elsie is, Bertha. Some people you just can't reason with.
Grace, come here, man.
I'm talking, Gus. I told Elsie, let sleeping dogs lay there, why don't you? But do you think she'd listen?
Hey, Grace, we got company. Tell Bertha you'll talk to her later on.
Company? Listen, Bertha, hang on, will you? I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Who is it, Gus?
It's the young lady who shares our party line, Grace. Come on in, I'll introduce you. Miss Brooks, this is my wife, Grace.
How do you do?
How do, Miss Brooks?
I'm sorry if I disturbed your conversation.
Oh, that's all right. Bertha don't mind hanging on. She waits for a half hour sometimes. She's very loyal that way.
Miss Brooks wants to ask a favor, Grace, about the telephone.
Well, what is it?
Well, I'm expecting a terribly important call tonight, Mrs. Gribble, between 6 and 6:30.
From Mr. Boynton?
Mr. Boynton? Why, no, but how did
you... You and that Boynton. He ain't got much get up and go in him, has he?
Well, please, Mrs. Gribble,
I set for your ride around the park tonight?
The park? Well, how did you know
Last week it was the zoo. This week it's the park. Doesn't he ever take you any place that costs money?
Listen, Mrs. Gribble, Mr. Boynton isn't cheap. It's just that he's a school teacher, too, and, well, we enjoy going to the places we go to when we go to them.
English teacher should talk better.
You're alone, Gus. She's a little excited. Listen, Miss Brooks, I think you're a very considerate person. Believe me, when you offered to chip in for the movies last Wednesday night when Boynton said he was a little short, it was very touching. I was so thrilled I almost hung up.
And I thought I was living alone.
Hey, that reminds me, how's Mrs. Davis?
Mrs. Davis?
That's some doctor she has. When she called him up with that sore throat last Monday, it didn't take 20 minutes and he was phoning his exchange from your place.
I haven't seen Mrs. Davis since this morning, Mrs. Gribble. Tell me, how is she feeling today?
Oh, she's 100% better.
Good. Now, about the phone, I would like to ask you...
the phone. Oh, I better get back to Bertha. I want to tell her how good my pot roast turned out. She was kidding me about it this morning. Stick the bay leaves in my mouth, she said. Try it again, Miss Brooks.
But, Mrs. Gribble, about tonight... Mr. Gribble, I've just got to have a clear line on my phone this evening.
Well, let's be honest, Miss Brooks. If you want a clear line on your phone ever, you better get another party to share it with.
But I tried, Mr. Gribble. The phone company said they can't do anything about it right now.
You didn't speak to the right people. My brother Bill works for the phone company. Bill Gribble. Yeah, talk to him. Tell him I sent you, and you'll get a new party line in a minute.
Really, Mr. Gribble?
Sure.
Why, that's wonderful. But before I go, there's something else I'd like to ask you.
Yes, ma'am?
If you have a brother working at the telephone company, why can't you wangle yourself a private line?
Well, confidentially, we like it better this way. Yeah, the party line's a great relaxation. You see, Miss Brooks, we haven't got a television set.
But, Mr. Gribble, you said you believe in respecting people's privacy.
I do. Did you ever hear me join one of your personal conversations?
time is it now, Mrs. Davis?
7:15, Connie.
I can't understand why Mr. Stone didn't call.
Did the phone company change your party line?
Yes, from Madison 4587 to Madison 6319. Without Grace Gribble, it couldn't possibly have been busy from 6 to 6:30 inclusive. Maybe Mr. Conklin heard from Mr. Stone. I'll give him a ring.
So I looked out the window, and there was this Mr. Boynton in the car. Bertha, he's a dream.
Mrs. Gribble, what are you doing on this line?
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks.
The phone company told me I'd be sharing the line with a new number, Madison 6319.
Madison 6319? Well, isn't that nice? That's Bertha's number.
Oh, great. This is just dandy.
What's dandy, Connie?
Instead of having Grace, who's always talking to Bertha, I now have Bertha, who's always talking to Grace.
Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, yes, tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives Kay Daumit's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream shampoo. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight, yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, I was feeling pretty low about missing Mr. Stone's call, and I told Mr. Boynton as much when he phoned me at 8 o'clock.
Now, don't worry about it, Miss Brooks. I'm sure Mr. Stone will be back in town soon, and you can have your interview with him then. Now, suppose you cheer up, and we'll go to a movie.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on, Miss Brooks. I borrowed enough to show us a real nice time.
But I don't really feel like a movie.
Please, Miss Brooks.
Come on, Miss Brooks, say yes.
Who was that?
That's my party line neighbor, Bertha. Bertha, Mr. Boynton. Mr. Boynton, Bertha.
How do you do?
Talk more, Mr. Boynton. I'm crazy about your voice.
I don't understand. Who is this?
This, Mr. Boynton, is Madison 6319.
That's right, Mr. Boynton. What's your number?
He's a restricted number. We don't give him out. Now, about that movie, Mr. Boynton, on second thought, I'll be happy to go with you.
So will I.
Please, Bertha, hang up. What movie did you have in mind, Mr. Boynton?
Well, any number can play.
So why can't I go along?
Sorry, Bertha. Any number can play is only on the screen. In the balcony, it's strictly 1 to a customer.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, Gloria McMillan, Joseph Kearns, Lucille Meredith, and Sandra Gould.
Men, here is actual, factual proof of more comfortable, actually smoother shaves by using Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. 1,251 men tried the Palmolive Lather way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they shaved before, 3 out of 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Try Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. See if you don't get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream way.
Most of our schools remain understaffed, overcrowded, handicapped by buildings and equipment of inferior quality. And all of these conditions undermine the morale of teachers in whose keeping rests the future of the rising generations of American citizens. There's a continuing shortage of teachers themselves, reflecting the fact that educational crisis is still with us. You can help by taking an active part yourself in parent-teachers organizations and local educational groups. Remember, our teachers mold our nation's future, and in that future, you have a vital stake.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, the Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton with Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, and Wonderful Smith. Good evening, everyone. This is Truman Bradley. Friends, judge by any standard you wish, but seeing is believing. That's why we urge you to make this simple comparison, to prove beyond dispute that Raleighs are truly the superior cigarette. Compare the open ends of a pack of Raleigh cigarettes with any other brand, any other. You'll see at a glance that Raleighs are unmistakably more golden in color. And experts will tell you that these golden tobaccos are choicer, more expensive, more sought after by professional tobacco buyers. Now, bear this in mind, too. Raleighs give you not one, but 31 of these finer, more expensive golden tobaccos in a truly brilliant blend. That's why Raleighs are so distinctively outstanding in taste and flavor, so smooth and mild. And Raleighs give you valuable coupons redeemable for over 70 luxury premiums, as well as for vital defense bonds and stamps, too. Yes, you can buy bonds with Raleigh coupons. So, friends, the proof is right before your very eyes that it pays in many ways to smoke Raleighs. Next time, get the pack with a coupon on the back. Raleigh cigarettes. Playing I'll Be Our Thing Baby. And now we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's newest young comedian, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say, Truman, what's new?
Well, Red, I tell you, I see in the papers that because of the shortage, they're going to make smaller radios.
No kidding.
Yeah, in fact, they'll be so small you can carry them around in your pocket.
It's silly. Can you imagine walking down the street with H.B. Kaltenborn talking through your vest? And you meet another guy with Orson Welles coming out of his back pocket.
Say, Red, I heard that you were pretty good in that big Buy-A-Bomber vaudeville show the other night.
Oh, I love vaudeville, you know. In fact, I got vaudeville in my blood.
You have, huh?
Yes, if you listen closely, you can hear my corpuscles hissing.
Well, tell me something, Red. When you were in vaudeville, what kind of an act did you do?
Well, it started off kind of slow, and then it sagged in the middle, and then at the finish, I died like a dog. I was pretty bad, you know.
Yeah, who told you that, Red?
A little bird.
A little bird?
Yeah. Don't you get it?
No.
I did. So you should have seen the show the other night, Brad. They had a Chinese act that burned incense.
I did a punk act once.
You did, Ozzie?
Yes, the act went under the name of Dewey, Layoff, and Howe. I was Howe.
Yep. And Howe. Say, what was the act all about?
Well, Dewey would stand on one side of the stage, and he'd throw me through the air to Layoff.
Yeah.
But I had to quit.
Why, Ozzie?
Well, Layoff had butterfingers.
Say, Red, who were some of the movie stars at that big Buy-A-Bomber vaudeville show the other night?
Well, Veronica Lake was there. She half looked at me.
Oh, yeah. Veronica Lake. Say, what do you think of her?
Oh, she's got it good, and that ain't bad. Say, Chester Morris was there, too. He did a lot of magic tricks.
Yeah?
He came out on the stage, said a few words, and made a rabbit disappear. Uh-huh. I came out on the stage, said a few words, and made the audience disappear. Hello, Harriet.
Hello, Red. Say, didn't they hold that show in an old vaudeville theater?
Yeah, believe me, that was really an old vaudeville theater, too. Al Shinberg, the director, was buying peanuts from some of the stars, see, and he dropped his change.
What happened, Red?
Well, Charles Boyer and Rosalind Russell got on their hands and knees to get it for him, see? And the termite came out of the wood, grabbed a quarter, and says, "Okay, Ross, I'll toss you for it."
Well, anyway, Red, Hollywood sure is a great place.
Yeah, where else can you see station wagons in a place that has no station?
Say, I saw your act at the Buy a Bomber show the other night. Red, you were great.
Well, thanks.
You were sensational.
Ah, thanks.
You were absolutely terrific.
Well, thank you.
You were...
Harriet, it won't do you any good. I've told you for the last time you can't come over to my house and feel the rubber ball I stole from the Broadway basement.
I stole a rubber ball once.
You stole a rubber ball, Ozzy? What happened?
Well, they raided the joint and pinched the bubble dancer.
They pinched the bubble dancer hard? I mean,
Say, Red, what are they going to do with that big bomber after they get it?
Well, they're going to have a lot of fun with that bomber.
A lot of fun? What do you mean?
Well, they're going to take it over to Tokyo and paint the town yellow.
Isn't that a beautiful melody?
Yes, it's a beautiful melody and a lovely thought, too.
Aren't you glad you're going to sing it?
Yes, I certainly am.
That was the White Cliffs of Dover, sung by Harriet Hilliard, and very nice, too. By the way, we have the RAF flyer in the audience tonight. Hey, take a bow, fellas. Come on, take a bow. Say, Ozzy, what are you going to do tonight after the show, huh?
I don't know. Look for a place to hide, I guess.
Yeah. Why don't you just face it like I do?
No, I'm just kidding, really, Red. Yeah. I'm going to go to a little restaurant for a bite to eat.
Oh, say, Harriet, how would you like to go out with me for a bite to eat, huh?
Oh, no, Red, I think I'd better go with Ozzy. He splits the check with me.
Yeah. I'll split the check with you if you'll leave the tip.
Say, why don't you go with us?
No, I'll just go to the little cafe I go to around the corner here.
Hey, you're always hanging around that restaurant.
Yeah.
What is she, a blonde waitress?
Yeah, no. I just like to watch different people who come in there to eat. Did you ever notice different things that happen in a restaurant? For instance, one of those birds who always picks on the waiters. You usually find them in a restaurant around 1 o'clock in the morning. One of these type of guys.
Hey, how about a little Starbucks? A little Starbucks.
All right, what do you want?
I want a little service, that's what I want. I've been in here for days, it seems like. Hey, wise guy, where's my overcoat? Somebody stole my overcoat.
They did not. You've got it on.
Oh, yeah. It's a good thing you brought it back. Hey, I'm hungry. Bring me something to eat, please.
Oh, come now. Get up off the floor. You're not that hungry. Okay, Bud, what do you want? What do you want to eat?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Hey, all right. You look over the menu and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I can't read it. You read it for me. This print's too small for my eyes.
Well, then why don't you get glasses?
That's what I'll have. Glasses with beer in them. Hey, give me a cigarette, will you?
You know, 15 cents will break you, that bumming habit.
Oh,
yeah, there's a machine right there.
Okay, I'll get a pack of rollers.
What are you going to do with the coupons?
I'm going to get the Empire State Building.
Don't be silly, mister. You couldn't take that home.
All right, I'll only take the bottom part. I'll put my money in. Hey, what happened?
Well, what did you get?
A handful of peanuts.
Look, mister, the other machine is for the cigarettes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Here, what kind of a machine is it? Come on.
Hey! What's the matter with you? You got the cigarettes. What did you bust the machine for?
No matches, huh?
Then we have Clem, the fellow from the country. Clem owns one of those drive-in hamburger stands, and as the scene opens, we find Clem on his way to the stand to open it up for the day. It's early in the morning.
Well, here I am on my way to work in my hamburger stand. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. She'll be driving 6 white horses cause she can't get no tires. Gee, it's early in the morning. It's awful early. I wonder if it's time to open my eyes yet. Well, here's my restaurant. I'll open it up and go in.
Hello, Clem.
Well, Daisy.
Hello, Clem.
Well, Daisy.
Hello, Clem.
We're silly conversation.
My, you look sleepy, Clem. Did you stay out late last night?
No, I went to bed with a chicken. And it's mighty uncomfortable, too. Even if we do have twin perches. Hey, what you doing here so early?
Well, I just thought it'd be kind of nice to come down and build you a fire.
Oh, my lover girl. Oh, let me kiss you on the forehead.
Why don't you kiss me on the neck like you used to?
My teeth get caught in a wrinkle.
Say, Clem, I didn't know
know your roadhouse had 2 doors in front.
It didn't. Yesterday a fellow saw that sign, drive in, and he did.
Oh, Clem, look.
What's the matter,
A mouse just ran inside that Swiss cheese. Well, Clem, ain't you going to do something? I said a mouse just ran inside that Swiss cheese.
Don't worry. He won't get away. He'll take a wrong turn in there somewhere, and he'll never get out.
Clem, you say the silliest thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty dumb. I got a good education, too.
You got a good education?
Yeah, I worked my way through a magazine selling colleges. Oh, here comes the customer. I hope he sees my sign. Yep. I knew putting it in the middle of the road like that would get results.
Say, look, Clem, the fellow that stopped in front of the restaurant is coming in.
Oh, good, a customer. Howdy, stranger. What are you going to eat?
Well, now that I'm here, I think I'll have some coffee.
You want the 10-cent coffee or the 5-cent coffee?
What's the difference?
10-cent coffee comes in a cup.
What does a 5-cent coffee come in?
You wouldn't like it. I'll go back and get it for you.
Say, miss, is that coffee drip coffee?
I don't know. I'll see. Hey, Clem, is this gentleman getting drip coffee?
He is, if I serve it to him in a cracked cup.
Say, how would you like a piece of that homemade pie? Homemade it myself.
Oh, yeah? Well, what kind is it?
Oh, it's just the kind of pie you'd like.
Oh, a wise guy, hey? You're so smart. Tell me, what kind of pie do I like? Huh? What kind of pie do I like?
Something, didn't you?
Well, what kind of pie do I like?
Well, wouldn't you like to know?
So you know you're very pretty?
Well, thanks. I'm really a mess today, though.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her.
Oh.
You really are pretty, though, miss. I like your freckles.
Them ain't freckles. A car hit a mud hole down the road. Well, Clem, I gotta be going.
Could I drive you down the road?
Well, now, that's mighty gentlemanly of you.
Now, wait a minute, Daisy June, you and them big words. You shouldn't get in a car with a stranger.
Aw, don't be jealous, Clem. Who can tell? I might send you a card from Yuma.
Yuma? That's where everybody gets married. Oh, she don't love me. What'll I do? I know what I'll do. I'll end it all. And I'll go down and jump in that icy river. That's what... No, I won't either. I might catch pneumonia and die. Oh, well. Do. Then we have a lady and her little boy in a restaurant. So, Harriet, you be my mother and I'll be the little boy. We've been out all day on a shopping tour. I'm the new Red. Mommy, you wasn't too fast for me.
Well, hang on to my skirt.
Okay. I can't reach her. Now, Mommy, I ain't hungry. Can I have another hot dog?
Now, you just had a hot dog 5 minutes ago.
I know, but he's just wandering around down there all by himself.
Well, you can't have another hot dog.
If you don't buy me a hot dog, I would tell.
You'll tell what?
I would tell everybody that you used to be head squirt on a whaleboat.
Oh, Junior, at times I'm sorry they ever turned on the landing lights for that store.
Yeah.
Now, come on, I'll get you something to eat. We'll go in this restaurant.
No, let's go to the dime store. You only want to go in here because they got beer. I know.
Junior, you know that's not true. Now, come on, we'll go in.
Okay.
How do you do, madam? Table for one?
Table for one? What do I look like, a jackrabbit?
Junior, be quiet.
Madam, if you will give me his leash, I will check him.
Please, we want a table. We're going to have lunch.
Would you like a high chair for the little fellow?
Either that or you're going to look awful silly serving me on your knee.
All right, come on, Junior. Sit down and tuck your napkin under your chin.
Okay. Tuck my napkin under my chin? Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm a year older now, ain't I? Good time, but they got it, didn't they? Little man, before you sit down, let me hang up your coat.
Okay, that's mighty nice of you.
There you are.
Okay, now take me out of it.
Oh, Junior. Now, look, you stay here and I'll be right back.
Okay, Mary.
I beg pardon, little man. With your lunch, what would you like to drink?
I don't know.
Could I bring you a glass of milk?
You could, but it would only lead to bloodshed. Bring me a glass of wine.
Oh, I can't do that. You're a minor.
I'm a what?
You're a minor.
No, I ain't. I always had this little light in me head. You go away and let me enjoy myself.
Very good, sir, yes.
What's on the floor, Toto? Bring on the dancing girls. Bring on the fan dancers. Bring on the bubblegum dancers.
What did you say?
Bring me a glass of milk.
You know, little fellow, you're very sweet. It's a wonder someone doesn't eat you up.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Well, if they do, we'll cost them 65 cents because I have New York cut. Well, I think I would take a little walk around the table. Maybe to make people think I own the joint. Maybe I could find some money under the plate like the last time. Oh, there's a nice, comfortable man over there eating. I will go over and see what he's doing. Hello, mister.
Hello, Sonny.
What you eating? Is that soup hot? What is dinner?
Hey, now get out of my soup.
What's the matter? I got my water wing on. Hey, mister, would you give me a little piece of bread and butter? I haven't eaten for 3 days.
You haven't had anything on your stomach for 3 days?
No, not even me underwear.
Well, my goodness, where do you live?
I don't know. Trailer camps, boxcars, hobo jungles, in front of the Brown Derby. I had to get the bindle stiff.
My, oh, my. What are you doing in California?
Well, we is grapes here for the tourist picking season. We is tourists here for the grape picking season.
Well, maybe I can help you. What would you like to eat?
Would you give me just a little bite off your pork chop, huh?
Well, surely.
Boy, that's doing no good, don't it?
Hey, here you are.
Are you kidding? Wipe it around in the gravy, or widow. Hey, I better go before my mom catches me bumming. Oh, look, here comes the waiter with a big tray of dishes. If I do, I get a whipping. I do this. I will help him get rid of that heavy load.
Why did you trip me?
Now, let's not get no deeper.
Junior, what happened?
This man fell down. He got dropped or something.
He tripped me.
Junior, now you're going to get it for good.
Don't hit me.
Oh, you hit me, you hit me. Oh, you broke my widow's spine.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh, you broke it.
Where we going, to a movie, man?
Does my baby call me honey? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Does she help me save my money? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When she heaves those gentle sighs and she rolls those big black eyes, does it make goose pimples rise? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did I cut out misbehaving? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is my razor just for shaving? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did I take my gal's advice? Did I give up gin and dice? Wasn't that some sacrifice? Yes, sir. Did I call on Sally Pringle? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did she tell me she was single? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And when a man walked in the flat and demanded, who is that? Did I leave without my hat? Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, Truman, I'd like to ask you a very personal question. You sure you won't mind now?
Go right ahead, Red. I don't mind.
Truman, do you think people like radio announcers?
Well...
Right. Now, there's another one. Do you think they like advertising?
Well, that I can answer, Red. Millions of people not only enjoy Raleigh cigarette advertising, but profit from it. You see, friends, the magnificent premiums you get with Raleigh cigarette coupons are actually a form of Raleigh cigarette advertising. These luxury items are bought and paid for out of our profits, just as any other form of advertising. We have adopted this policy, this plan of spending our advertising money with you, so that you profit from each pack of Raleighs you buy. When you buy Raleighs, you're first rewarded with a finer quality cigarette, made with a choicer, the more expensive golden tobaccos. Then, in addition, you profit with bridge tables, silverware, electric clocks, and over 70 more luxurious Raleigh premiums. And in turn, we profit, because each time you see these magnificent premiums, you're pleasantly reminded over and over again that it pays in many ways to smoke Raleigh cigarettes. Frankly, we believe this is good advertising, friends. Think it over and you'll agree, too. The next time, get the pack with a coupon on the back. Raleigh cigarettes.
With all the different types of people that go into restaurants, area, did you ever notice that one of those wise guys always flirts with a waitress just because his dad owns the place? One of these birds. I got stuff.
Good morning, sir. Sit right here, sir.
Yeah, you look sweet enough to eat.
Yeah, well, you better go on a diet.
Yeah. You ain't mad at me, are you?
No, I'm not mad. Will you please let go of my hand so I can wipe off the table?
Gee, you got pretty hands.
You got nice hands, too.
Yeah.
How are things at the mine?
Pretty good. Listen, don't get fresh with the customers. Remember, the customer's always right.
Listen, why don't you go and eat up the street?
I would, but there's no vitamins in it. Hey, it's going to be tough sledding around here tomorrow.
Why?
No snow. Boy, that's a pip, huh? Say, where's Wonderful Smith, the cook, huh? He's a friend of mine. Hey, Wonderful!
Yes, sir!
Hey, Wonderful, what's cooking, huh? Oh, boy. Say, what's on the special for today, huh?
I just made a pot of vegetable soup.
What's vegetable soup?
Did you ever eat hash?
Yeah.
Same thing, only it's looser.
Hey, Wonderful, what was the matter with that last order of potatoes? They came out tan.
There was no room in the stove, so I had to bake them under a sun lamp.
Honestly, I never saw a guy like you. Did you empty the pan under the ice box?
Yes, ma'am. Emptied it and put fresh water in it.
Hey, what's the dessert on the blue plate today, huh?
Chocolate cake.
Why do you always bake chocolate cakes?
They don't show the date.
Say, Wonderful, where's that steak I ordered an hour ago?
I burned it, so I sent over to the drugstore to get a little Argentine to put on it. Excuse me while I whip some potatoes. There. Do you give up?
Well, have you decided what you want to eat?
Hey, look, why don't you give me a date, huh? I'm a regular guy. I'm no wolf.
Oh, no? Well, then why don't you manicure your claws?
Yeah.
I suppose if I gave you a date, you'd want to show me some etchings.
No, times are pretty tough now in Hollywood. They just show you the handwriting on the wall. Hey, don't pull your hand away.
Let go.
What?
Let go. Why did you do that? I said let go.
Oh, I thought you said let's go. Oh, gee. It's awful hot in here, ain't it?
I guess it ought to be. You're sitting on the griddle.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I turn these hot cakes.
Well, scrape me off the ceiling.
Your pipe will be a newfound friend when you switch to Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh gives you an exclusive, mellow, nut-like richness. It's full-bodied and tangy, yet smooth and mild. The perfect result of perfect blending, of precise curing and aging. And Sir Walter Raleigh's careful crimp cut assures cool, even burning. With all of this, Sir Walter Raleigh boasts a pleasingly fragrant He-Man aroma. It's the quality pipe tobacco of America, yet available at the price of just ordinary tobacco. Tonight, try Sir Walter Raleigh.
Remember, we'll all be back again next Tuesday at the same time. Red Skelton.
Goodbye now.
Red Skelton is heard on this program through the courtesy of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell. P-R-E-L-L. Prell Shampoo. Yes, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff, leaves hair radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Well, things are a bit quieter this week in the home of Chester A. Riley. The family has returned from Cincinnati, where they attended the world premiere of a new motion picture, The Life of Riley. And once more, things are serene. Particularly today, for it's an anniversary. 18 years ago today, a significant social event took place. The marriage of lovely Margaret Barker to Brooklyn's most eligible young bachelor, Chester A. Riley. The ceremony was performed in the banquet room of the Waldorf Cafeteria. And immediately following the ceremony, the bride and groom posed for the usual wedding picture.
All right now, I'm ready to take the wedding portrait. Where's the bride? The bride, please.
Oh, here I am.
Now just stand over here. So. Ah, lovely, lovely. Oh, this is going to be a sublime photograph. Now, where's the groom? The groom?
Here I am.
Oh. Must we have the groom in the picture?
You bet I'm going to be in it. I'm paying half, you know.
Oh. Oh, very well, if you insist. All right, now, watch the birdie. Mr. Riley, would you please close your mouth?
What's wrong?
From here, it looks as if the bride is at sea, standing next to a porthole. Now, watch the birdie.
That very same picture has been gathering dust in the Riley cellar until last week, when it was resurrected by the Riley children, Babs and Junior, who had it enlarged, retouched, tinted, and put in a silver frame. And tonight, they are about to present it to their parents on the 18th anniversary of their wedding.
Here they come, Junior. Where's the picture?
Right here. You think they'll like it, Babs?
Oh, they'll adore it. And will they be surprised? I think they lost it years ago in Brooklyn.
Hi, kids.
Hello, children.
Hi, Pop,
Hi,
Mom.
hi.
Well, what are you two grinning about? Huh?
Happy anniversary.
Whose anniversary?
It's ours, Riley.
Holy smoke, that's right. I clean forgot.
As usual.
Yeah. 18 years ago today was our wedding. I forgot, and those two kids remembered, and they weren't even there.
Mother, Daddy, we have something for you.
Oh, yeah, here.
Many happy returns of the day. Oh, children, you're darling.
Oh, thanks, kids. It's just what we needed.
Well, you haven't opened it yet.
Oh, who cares? I love it.
Riley, open it and see what it is.
Huh? Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm so excited. Hey, look at this. Ha-ha. Oh, this is a scream.
What is it, Riley?
It's a comic picture. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, but Pop...
The dame don't look so bad, but that goon alongside of her. He's wearing a tuxedo with yellow shoes.
Riley, for heaven's sake, don't you know what that picture is?
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Look at him there with his mouth hanging open. Looks like a porthole. Wait a minute, that's my porthole.
That's our wedding picture.
Well, we thought you'd like it.
Oh, but we do, dear. You couldn't have given us a nicer present. I've been looking for it for years. I thought we'd lost it. Where on earth did you find it?
In the cellar at the bottom of the trunk.
Now, let's see. Where's the best place to put it?
The bottom of the trunk.
Riley, don't be like that.
I don't like the way I look in that picture.
Now, look, dear. I know you think of yourself as having been a handsome Lothario in your younger days, and I realize it's a little disillusioning to find out that you look just the same then as you do now. But be a sport.
Yeah, I know, but the way I look,
Oh, Pop, you should worry, as long as you're healthy.
Well, I guess they had cheap cameras in those days. Okay, I can take it.
Well, that's better.
And just to show you the kind of a sport I am, I'm taking you all out to celebrate our anniversary.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Now, get your things. Go ahead.
I have to change my dress.
Yeah, I'm going to wear my new slacks.
18 years. Hard to believe, Peg.
Yes, it's been a long time.
Peg, tell me, if you had to do it all over again, would you pick me? Never mind, don't answer that. Forget it.
Of course I would, dear.
Yeah, I don't know why. Ain't much on looks. I'm not so hot on brains. I just make a living.
But you're the best husband a woman could have.
Yeah, you're right. I guess we're both pretty lucky, and we got 2 great kids.
Oh, yes, we certainly have. What did we ever do to deserve such wonderful children?
We got married.
Oh, it's you, Riley.
Hi, Gillis.
Come on in, pal.
Thanks. I just got home. I took the family out to dinner. I saw your light, so I thought I'd... Hey, what's that thing there on the table?
A wire recorder.
A what?
A wire recorder. It takes down music and talking, and it says it back. It's got better ears than I got.
Yeah? Where'd you get it from?
Oh, I win it on a quiz program. The Crackpot Jackpot.
Oh, yeah? Well, that's my favorite program. And you actually won it, Gillis?
Sure. The guy who runs the program, Professor Weirdo, he sang this song for me, see? And he left out one word, and I had to guess the correct word.
What a cinch. What song was it?
It went like this. Queen Victoria's very sick. Napoleon's got the measles. Josephine's got whooping cough. La goes the weasel.
That's a tough one. How did you guess?
I missed it. If I'd have guessed, I'd have won $30,000. So instead, they give me this here wire recorder for a booby prize.
Yeah, gee, that's a great thing. Show me how it works.
All right. You see this here spool of wire?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I turn this here switch on. Now, say something in this mic.
Hello, folks. What's new?
Yeah, I turn it off, and then I turn this switch on. Listen.
Hello, folks. What's new?
Hey, you see?
Yeah. Hey, that works great. Who was the sissy who said hello, folks?
You.
Me? Go on. I don't sound like that.
Riley, this machine don't lie.
I don't talk like that. Some machine. What's it good for, anyway?
Spying on people. Eavesdropper. Boy, would I love to hide it in the girls' locker room with the plant.
Gillis, I'm shocked.
Oh, it's a great machine. Say, in your case, a guy like you can find out exactly what your family thinks of you.
Yeah, how?
Record what they say when you ain't around. See, you hide it, and they don't know it's on.
Yeah, well, I don't need no machine to tell me what my family thinks of me. They adore me. Why, only tonight, Peg said to me...
Yeah, I know what she said.
How do you know?
Listen.
You're the best husband a woman could have.
How did you...
Held the mic near your keyhole. I know everything she said. But what she says to your face and what she says behind your back is 2 different things.
I don't believe it.
I didn't either till I got this machine. Where's that spool? Oh, here. I want you to hear a little conversation that went on in my house when I wasn't around. Listen.
Egg bite? Egg bite?
That's my darling wife.
Did
Yes, Mama?
That's my darling son.
How many times have I told you not to leave your socks on the piano? You're getting to be more like your father every day. He's the sloppiest thing I ever seen, and you're just as bad.
Now, you see what I mean? To my face, she says I'm neat.
Hey, guys, get me your father's pants on the chair there.
Get this butt.
What does she want with your pants?
You here?
Here's Papa's pants, Mama.
That father of yours. Honest, that father of yours seems to think I can run this house without money. That's the third time this week he sneaked out of the house without leaving me a cent. He's the stingiest man I've ever known. But I'll teach him a lesson. Give me those pants.
Hey, Gillis, she's going to go through your pants.
Relax.
He can't walk out on air.
What's that? I put a mouse trap in my pocket. Well, that's enough to give you an idea.
That's horrible.
That's married. To my face, it's darling, sweetheart, angel, lover boy. And behind my back, it's dope, tightwad, schmo. Same thing in every family.
Oh, no, not in my family.
Oh, no?
No.
Say it out, huh? I'll hook it up for you. We'll hang the mic under your sofa.
Nothing doing. No, I ain't going to spy on my family.
Scared to find out the truth, hey, Riley?
There's nothing to find out. Peg and the kids love me, and they respect me. This is my 18th wedding anniversary. And after 18 years of married life, going through thick and thin together, if I can't trust my family, if I have so little faith in them that I have to spy on them, then all I can say is this machine hard to hook up? Hurry up, Gillis. I think Peg is coming.
We're all set. The mic's behind the couch. They can't see it, and it'll pick up every word. I ran the wire under the carpet out here to the hall closet where I put the recorder.
Okay, let's go now.
O'Reilly,
Huh?
are you going out?
Yeah, just for a while. Over to Gillis's.
Well, all right. Don't be late, darling.
Okay, I won't, sweetheart.
Oh, who was that, Mother? Oh, just your father. He went over to Gillis's house. Oh, I wish he'd let one evening go by without seeing that Gillis. He's a bad influence. He's the one who's always getting your father into jams.
I can do without him, too. He's so vulgar.
That Egbert's not so hot either.
Oh, we'll probably be over there for hours. And 10 to 1, he's putting your father up to some mischief.
Well, Riley, soon we'll know the way.
Well, I ain't worried. You heard the way she called me darling.
Yeah. Soon you'll hear what she's calling you now. This may lead to a divorce.
Well, I ain't worried. I got confidence in my wife and kids.
Okay, we'll see.
And the more I think of it, the less I like this eavesdropping. I'm sorry we did it now.
Too late now. It's out of our hands. The minute you turn on that switch...
I didn't turn on any switch.
What? You didn't turn...
I thought you did.
I thought you did. That's what happens when you deal with amateurs. Now the recorder ain't on.
I'm glad we forgot. I never liked this spying from the beginning. I think that any married man who would stoop to this kind of sneak and underhanded business, which in my opinion is nothing but... Which switch is it?
Oh, I'm really getting fed up with that Gillis. If your father isn't over there, he's over here. It's been going on like that ever since we got married. He's always lived next door to us. You know, I remember when we were first married that Gillis... Who's there?
It's only me. I forgot something in the hall closet.
Oh, what, dear? Maybe I saw it.
Nothing. I found it. See you later.
Now, what was I saying? Oh, yes. When we were first married, he was out of a job, and he'd hang around the house all day long. I just couldn't stand having him around.
Hurry up, Gillis. Play it back already. Come on.
Take it easy. I got to rewind it. I thought you wasn't worried. What are you so nervous about?
Well, hurry up.
Okay, it's all set. Now listen carefully.
What, dear? Maybe I saw it.
Nothing. I found it. See you later.
That's when you went into the house to turn it on.
Now, what was I saying? Oh, yes. When we were first married, he was out of a job, and he'd hang around the house all day long. I just couldn't stand having him around.
Gillis.
Aha! What did I tell you?
That's a lie. I hung around the house, but she never saw me. She was out working.
Whenever he'd come near me, he'd give me the willies.
That's a lie, too. She couldn't stop kissing me.
The thing I can't stand about him, he's so crude.
Babs, too.
And what a tightwad. You mow the lawn for him and he promises to pay you and he welches.
Another lie. I gave him an IOU.
Oh, I wish we could get rid of that pest.
Oh, no.
Fat
chance unless we moved out of town in the middle of the night and he wouldn't be able to find us.
How could they?
It's an idea, but I'm afraid we're stuck with him for life.
Imagine being married to a creature like that.
Well, you kids can thank your lucky stars he's not your father.
That's going too far. Turn it off. Oh, Billy.
And now, the glamour girl of the year.
I'm Tallulah, the tube of proud, and I've got a little something to tell. Your hair can be radiant, oh, so easy. All you gotta do is take me home and squeeze me. I'm Tallulah, the tube of proud, and I'll make your hair look swell. It'll shine, it'll glow, so dandruff-free. For radiant hair, get a hold of me. Tallulah, the tube of proud shampoo.
Yeah, take it from Tallulah. For radiantly clean, radiantly lovely hair, it's Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo. Because Prell leaves hair more radiant than any soap shampoo you've ever used. Soft, smooth, gleaming with natural highlights. And Prell removes embarrassing dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Doctors' examinations proved it. So for hair that looks swell, shampoo with Prell. Try it tomorrow. Before we rejoin Riley, just a word on a swell new movie you'll be seeing soon. Yes, The Life of Riley is now on the screen, a warm and funny film starring William Bendix as laughable Riley. And this week, our NBC listeners can see The Life of Riley in Kansas City, Cleveland, Baltimore, and many other cities. It's a movie you won't want to miss. And now back to Riley, but not the sweet, lovable, kind-hearted, generous Riley of old. Bitter thoughts are running through his mind.
So this is how they pay me back. It don't pay to be good. From now on, I'm going to be mean and vicious.
And so Riley sits in his living room, scowling fiercely, determined to be a hard-hearted father and husband.
Daddy? Oh, what's the matter, Daddy?
What do you want?
Aren't you well, Daddy?
Mind your own business. Now speak up. What do you want?
Well, Daddy, I'm down to my last pair of nylons, and they're a mess, and I've got a date tonight. Lend me $2.
No.
But, Daddy, what'll I do?
Go barefoot.
Oh, don't be like that, Daddy.
No!
Come on, please, be a sweet Daddy. Please don't be a meanie. Please.
How much do you want, honey?
Only $2.
Here's 3.
Oh, thanks a million, Daddy. You're a doll, baby. See you later.
I didn't do so hot there. Well, it'll take a little time. I can't change my sweet nature overnight. I need more experience.
Pop, where are you, Pop?
Oh, Junior, you'll be a pushover. I won't go soft like I did with Babs. I'll teach him.
Oh, here you are, Pop. Say, Pop. Hey, that's funny. Do it again.
Do what again?
What you just did. You sound like Leo the Lion.
What do you want?
Oh, say, Pop, can I go to the movies?
No movies.
Oh, let me go, Pop.
Do your homework.
Well, I did my homework. Hey, let me go, Pop. The whole gang's going.
They are, huh? Well, then you'll stay home.
Oh, no. Please, Pop, don't be like that. Everybody's going. I want to go, too. I'll be a pal, Pop. Gee, if a fella can't come to his own father...
Stop doing it. I can't stand to see you miserable. Go to the movies. Go.
Oh, thanks, Pop.
Here's an extra dime for popcorn.
Oh, boy, thanks, Pop. You're swell. So long.
Well, it says. Little hypocrite. But I still love them. What's the matter with me? Why can't I be mean like they deserve? A dictator like Hitler. Yeah, that's what I'll be from now on, a regular Hitler. Gotta keep reminding myself. Riley, you ain't Riley anymore. You're another Hitler.
Oh, Riley,
idea.
Beflucht der Schweinhund raus mit you!
Oh, you're a scream. Oh, come here, you big clown.
Don't touch me.
Well, what's wrong? I was just going to give you a kiss.
You'll wait a long time before I kiss you.
Have you gone crazy? All right, if that's the way you feel about it.
But wait, come back. Kiss me. I'm only flesh and blood.
Oh, Riley, what's the matter with you?
You know what's the matter.
Well, no, I don't. Now, come on, tell me all about it. What's bothering you?
How could you tell the kids that I don't want to discuss it.
Riley, wait.
I'm going out. Goodbye.
Riley!
Oh, what's the matter, Mother?
Your father. He's acting very strange. I wish I knew what was bothering him.
Well, he acted very odd with me, too. Positively weird.
Oh, it's his nerves. He's just overworked. I wish he could get away by himself for a few days. It'd do him a world of good just to be away from the family.
Well, why doesn't he, Mother, for the weekend? To Palm Springs. He'd love the desert.
Why, yes, he could stay at the place we went to once, the Colonial House.
Oh, but you know, Daddy, he wouldn't want to go without us.
We'll make him go. We won't give him time to argue. We'll have his bag all packed tonight, give him some money, hand him his bus ticket, and say, on your way.
What's the use of going on? When a guy's family thinks about him the way my family does, he may as well phone the undertaker.
Just dial Hollywood 4111.
Who's that?
It is I, Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker.
Sorry, wrong number.
Greetings, Riley. You're looking fine. Very natural.
Figure. You're looking at a man who's reached the bottom.
Standing up? What's the trouble, Riley?
Oh, everything. My family, my kids.
Ah, yes. Families can be most vexing. My dear brood keeps nagging me to give up my business and buy a farm.
They're right. People should go back to the soil.
If people wish to go back to the soil, I'm here to help them.
That's nothing compared to my family. They hate me.
Oh, nonsense.
I got half a mind to go away someplace and stay there forever. Good. But what place?
I know a couple of spots, but you wouldn't like them. Riley, I'm sure you're imagining the whole thing.
No, I got proof, figuring before I'm through, I'll tell them off good. I'll really rip it into them.
Oh, Riley, I beseech you, don't say things you may regret. Go to them. Talk it over. You'll find you're wrong.
Well, I don't know. All right, I'll give him one more chance. I can be big.
That's the spirit. Always give the other man the benefit of the doubt. Make sure he is what you think he is before you lay him out. Cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Hey, Mom, Pop's coming.
Now remember, children, let me do the talking.
Here's his bag all packed.
Oh, where's the bus ticket?
Here it is.
Oh, fine.
Hey, where are you?
In here, Riley.
Yeah, Peg, listen, Hey, what's that bag?
It's yours.
Mine?
All packed. Pick it up. Here's your bus ticket and hit the road. You're going...
I ain't going anywhere. You ain't getting rid of me this easy.
Oh, Riley, we just want you...
I know what you want. I know all about your little plan to get rid of me.
Oh, Mother, I knew he'd find out.
You bet I found out. I heard your whole conversation.
Oh, we thought we'd surprise you.
I bet you did.
Well, what are you getting so upset about? It's a fine idea. We should have done it long ago.
Well, yeah, Pop, you got it coming to you.
Oh, this is too much. It was bad enough when you called me names and made up stories about me.
What names?
You know, but when your own wife shoves a suitcase in your hand, hands you a bus ticket and says, hit the road, bum, that's going too far.
Oh, Riley, what on earth?
Without a sunshine.
Oh, no, Pop, here's money, $20.
$20. 20 measly dollars. Oh, no, you ain't getting away with this. You're forgetting there's a law in this state, the community property law. That law protects us poor husbands. And my share of our community property is worth at least. I'll take the 20.
Riley, Something tells me that, as usual, we're talking about two different things.
No, we ain't. This is one time I know what's going on. You want to get rid of me so you can get another husband. Someone who won't give you the willies.
Riley.
Well, don't worry. I'll give you your divorce. I won't fight it. You can divorce me on the grounds of no divorce.
Riley.
I'll tell the world about you. They'll know how you treated me.
Riley.
I'll tell everything. You won't be able to shut me up. I'll tell.
Riley!
Yes,
I haven't the faintest idea what you're raving about. We just wanted to send you away for a few days so you could get a rest. But after the way you've been babbling just now, we won't have to send you. They'll come and get you.
We thought you'd like a weekend at Palm Springs.
Palm Springs? You mean a vacation? Just for 2 days? You don't want to get... You love me? Honest, Peg?
Yes, I love you. And for that statement alone, they ought to come and get me.
Oh, Dumpin', you're so right.
The Rileys will return in just a moment. Does unsightly dandruff spoil your well-groomed look? Then do as thousands do. Use Prell Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo. For besides leaving hair radiantly lovely, Prell leaves hair radiantly clean, too, free of embarrassing dandruff. Yes, in as little as 3 minutes, Prell removes ugly dandruff. Doctors' examinations proved it. And with Prell, your hair is so smooth, wonderfully soft, and so easy to manage. You'll find Prell economical, too. It goes farther than any known shampoo because it's more concentrated. As Tallulah says,
I'm Tallulah, the tube of Prell, and I'll make your hair look swell. It'll shine, it'll glow so dandruff-free. For radiant hair, get a hold of me. Tallulah, the tube of Prell shampoo.
Riley, there's still one thing I don't understand.
Yeah, what's that, Dumplin'?
If you were over at Gillis's the other night, how could you overhear our conversation?
Well, you see, I had I can't tell you. I'm too ashamed.
Now, come on, Riley.
Well, promise you won't tell the kids? I wouldn't want them to know.
I promise.
Well, I recorded the conversation on Gillis's machine. I had a mic hidden behind the couch.
Oh, so that's how you heard it.
You had a mic hidden, huh, Pop?
Yes. Junior, you were eavesdropping. I'm shocked. My own kids eavesdropping. Peg, I don't know where they get it from.
Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The Life of Riley motion picture is now showing in over 200 theaters and will open next week in Buffalo and Pittsburgh. Tonight's script is by Alan Lipscott, Reuben Shipp, and Dick Powell. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brecker. And remember, for more radiant hair free of unsightly dandruff, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L. Prell Shampoo.
Hi-ho, Irish snow, wash your dishes with Irish snow. It's kind to hands and speedy too. Lovely hands mean a lovely you. Hi-ho, safe in snow, wash your dishes in Irish snow.
Let your hands tell you why Ivory Snow is so wonderful for dishwashing. Wash your dishes with Ivory Snow as millions do. When you see how Ivory Snow pampers your hands, you'll know it's ideal. It's Ivory Mild, Ivory Pure. And remember, it's granulated for speed. No soap made is faster for dishes or kinder to hands than Ivory Snow. The only soap, both Ivory Mild and granulated for efficiency. Yes, for speedier dishwashing, for snow-white hands, try wonderful Ivory Snow.
And this is Ken Niles reminding you to tune this NBC station every Friday night for Jimmy Durante, Eddie Cantor, Red Skelton, and The Life of Riley.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.